Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. We are live here on YouTube with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have my dad.
What's up, guys?
Here as always joining us. And we're going to actually look ahead to Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz and their rematch, which I know for many of us it's somewhat anticipated. I know for you, you like Luis Ortiz, so it's pretty highly anticipated for you. But Dad, before we get into the live, let the people know what we got going on here on True School Sports.
Well, we got a lot of things going on. First, I want to start with, please, guys, if you're watching this, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate that. Also, if you want to get a big shout out, tell us from what location and where you actually watching True School Sports from, and thank you again for tuning in. Just a program reminder: we have the same day that the Wilder and Ortiz fight 2 happens on November 23rd. An earlier fight, this a card. It's Callum Smith versus John Ryder. That will be a great fight, so tune in for that. Very excited for this Wilder and Ortiz rematch. I'm gonna stick to my opinion. I'm gonna go with Luis King Kong Ortiz. He's in the best shape of his life.
Bold guy.
Yeah.
Sticking with Ortiz. That's my dad, you know, man in his words. So yeah, we're live. We're gonna look ahead to this fight because obviously, you know, this upcoming week there's not really a lot going on. There's no really big fights happening on the 17th. So the next big fight is the 23rd. So we figure we take it upon ourselves here on True School Sports and be proactive to kind of preview it and just look ahead and get you guys pumped up and excited for what figures to be a good fight. Because let's have it right. The first matchup between Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, it was very exciting. It was breathtaking stuff. It was insane stuff. I remember we were live. You were down here from New Hampshire at the time, and you went insane. You were going insane for that fight.
And I think one thing that I really take from this fight from both fighters, and it's not just the boxing aspect. On a personal note, they both have a serious situation where the daughter's having some type of a disability or health issues, and boxing helped both boxers to endure and motivated them to be to where they're at right now in their careers. Obviously, Deontay Wilder, WEC heavyweight champion, has got that strong right hand and has been putting opponents to sleep better than a sleeping pill. So for him, and then you got Ortiz, the Cuban fighter, who's also motivated by what his daughter's going through, and that gives him motivation to where he's at. And he's also coming in here being another strong fighter with a southpaw stand and his counter punching. So it's going to be a great fight, guys. I'm telling you. It's going to be better than what we've seen last week. I'm going to say that.
Which fight? Be specific, because there were a couple of fights last week.
The fight that really upset me the most, and I want to get into details, the Kovalev-Canelo fight. I really was not happy with that fight at all. The outcome, whatever, I respect everybody. I just don't even talk about it. But I think this fight right here, you're going to see 2 heavyweight warriors that are willing to fight each other, because nobody is willing to step in the ring with them, especially King Kong Ortiz.
Wait. Nobody's willing to step in the ring with Deontay Wilder? I can think of a few people that want to step in the ring with Deontay Wilder.
Well, I'm talking about King Kong. It's just like the only heavyweight that's giving a lot of respect to Ortiz has been Wilder. People think that he's too old, that he's 50 years old, that he's too slow, that he's lying about his age. He's older than what he really is. But at the end of the day, it's like when I was looking at an article a few days ago, it doesn't matter how his appearance looks, you need to watch out his counter punching and how he still has that power. And that's why a lot of heavyweights are not trying to get to him. Some of you might beg to differ. King Kong not a big name, not a big draw. This and that. But I beg to disagree. And I think this Wilder, I'm telling you now, this Wilder, King Kong Ortiz, it's a big fight. And even my boy, he's not my boy, but I support him because he came on PBC on the show and he supported the King Kong Ortiz. You all know who I'm talking about.
No, they don't. Please be specific.
Sean Showtime Porter.
What did Sean Porter say that has you so
He
happy?
came out and said, you know what, I really believe that he's going to win this fight. King Kong's going to win this fight. He's going to be a lot, he's not going to weigh as much. He's going to be in better shape, a lot healthier. The training he has is one of the best that's in boxing, and he really feels that King Kong's gonna redeem himself. He said the only reason that King Kong lost this fight is because he gassed out. He doesn't see this the second time around.
We're gonna get into all that later, you know, because I have my own opinions about this fight. Like, I don't know why you're so optimistic, but you are. So I give you credit. You're very optimistic for this fight. But there's 4 of you here right now, so you know, leave some comments down below in regards to this fight. Do us a favor and let us know what city, what state, what continent you guys happen to be watching this live from, and you know, feel free to be interactive. We love interacting with everybody. We're gonna be going through We're gonna be going ahead and going through. Sure. We going ahead through the Know that. We're gonna be going ahead and going through like the Wilder Ortiz fight, just previewing it and every aspect of it and how it affects the heavyweight division. So feel free to chime in as you must. We're gonna be going just straight right through it. So if we don't get your comments right away, it's because we have a lot to talk about, as you can see on the notebook. If you want us to get to your comment immediately, you can super chat us, and we'll stop what we're doing and we'll read your comment. But until we get through what we got going on, we're not gonna go anymore.
Got a shout out. Please tell us what location, where you watching True School Sports from. We would really like to know that. Don't forget to actually support the channel by buying Fighting Mad T-shirts. It'll help the channel. And we thank you for your support. Chime in on whatever, but right now we're talking about Wilder and Ortiz.
All right, so we got a couple comments before we get into everything. We got my main event boxing talk. I just did an interview. Listen, I feel bad because I have a video. I did make a video kind of highlighting our interview that we did. So main event, it's gonna come out probably tomorrow or sometime this week, just so you know. But I did an interview at Main Event Boxing Talk. If you guys are here right now and you're not familiar with his channel, go subscribe to him. He's a great guy. Good channel coming up, you know. So please go subscribe to Main Event Boxing Talk. He says, as a Brit, I hate to say it, but Wilder is the #1 heavyweight. What do you think about that?
I'm just gonna put it this way: Wilder it's only got one punch, the right hand punch.
It works.
And as long as once a fighter takes that away from him, he's done. I'm gonna boldly disagree with you. I'm gonna call out something crazy, but my man right now in the heavyweight division, no, it's not Ruiz Jr. No, it's not Wilder. No, it's not Joshua.
Fury?
No, it's not Fury. I'm going with the new sheriff in town, and his name is Usyk.
Usyk, okay.
That's why I like him. I like all the other fighters. I like Usyk.
Oh, God bless you.
I mean that. And one more shout out to all the veterans. Happy Veterans Day.
Oh yeah, happy Veterans Day.
2nd Airborne. I served in the Gulf War.
He was there.
Bless all the veterans,
Jumping
the
on
families,
planes.
those who sacrificed and everything. And thank to all the veterans all over the world.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you the whole like
like
you know when you go to the sporting events and say, you know, they're the real heroes and without them we couldn't do. No, we're not gonna do that. But happy Veterans Day and God bless the troops. Now we got my man Steve in Salco. He says L.A. He's in L.A. Shout out to Steve in L.A.
Hey,
my main man Martin Kearney. Martin Kearney's checking in and he's saying that he said, "What's good, BT? Wilder wins by KO." He says, hi, I'm from Scotland.
Scotland.
Shout out to Scotland. I'll be near Scotland soon. December the 4th, UK. True School Sports Takeover. I'll be there. My man Duck, the artist formerly known as LR Chigga, says, is dad still with Ortiz? LOL. Yeah,
I'm still
I don't know why.
I'm still
sticking with King. This is a man. Listen. I'm gonna cut you off, but this is a man right here. He used to jump out of planes. He's got PTSD. His brain's a bit fried, so that's why he's probably going with Ortiz, right?
I just think that people have given him the short end of the stick. Everybody think he's too old, he's too slow, he's lying about his age, and blah 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 blah. Stop making excuses. Give him the respect he deserves. And Bronze Bomber's done that, so. Kudos to Bronze Bomber, and after he finishes Bronze Bomber, the next one online, because I think Ortiz is gonna be around. What do you guys think? Yeah. My father said, my son says there's something wrong with him.
Okay. Duck Al says that Ruiz Joshua rematch winner is #1 in the division. Which I'm not even mad at. I would. I mean, personally, I think Tyson Fury is still the best heavyweight in the world, but I'm not mad at that either. My man Jasper Ram, I believe, Jasper Ram. He says, "Let's go, champ. No more, because you know Shannon Briggs has lost a lot of UK fans following his buffoonery in the Logan Paul KSI fight.
Wow.
But we won't talk about Logan Paul KSI because
yeah.
I've had enough time on Logan Paul KSI.
We're just talking right now.
UK's in the house.
Hit that like button and subscribe, please.
My man Jamal Davis, he says, my man BT, what's going on? What's up, Jamal? How you living, Jamal? Yo, Jamal, this is gonna be a bit of a weird question, but I'm gonna ask it, and I want you to answer this. Were you a fighter by any chance from Atlanta, Georgia? Because I think I was on Boxer and I saw somebody named Jamal Davis, and I was thinking to myself, maybe it's the guy in my comments. Might be that guy. Let me know in the comments.
Boxing is a small world.
Draft says Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you,
and
guys.
Doug says he is lying about his age. The MF looks like someone's grandpa or grandma. Yeah,
Listen, man, I'm still gonna go for him.
And
a lot of fighters don't want to fight him for whatever the reason is, but they're not stepping in the ring, talk the walk and walk the talk, and get in the ring with Ortiz and show him that he's old.
Okay, well, with that being said, let's jump right into it. We're gonna get right into it. So Wilder versus Ortiz 2. Now the first fight was extremely scintillating stuff. It was the stuff. It was the kind of fight that makes you love boxing.
Yeah.
And stay in love with the sport. Happened last, I think it was February or March of
Right.
18. It ended in an 8th round stoppage for Deontay Wilder. This was a fight where Wilder really had to be patient. He had to pick his shots. And I actually think Wilder doesn't get enough credit for this performance because we saw Luis Ortiz counterpunching Wilder, giving him angles, using that left hand to counter him.
Right.
And he had Wilder confused. He had him hurt. He had just him like really like confused from the jump of the fight. And it wasn't until I would say like round 5 or 6 when Ortiz started gassing out. Because I remember when we were live for that fight, Ortiz was following Wilder in a straight line. And I told you while we were live, I said, Dad, he's following him in a straight line. He's gonna get caught, and he got caught.
Yes, he did.
So my thing is this: that Ortiz, credit to Wilder, he's getting in the ring with Ortiz. But what makes you think that this fight will be any different when it does happen?
I think the biggest change that King Kong has made, he's got a new trainer training him.
Conditioning coach, not
Conditioning coach.
Larry Wade.
Larry Wade, no disrespect to him, respect to him and everybody else. And he's actually putting him to the best in conditioning shape that he's ever going to be for this fight. And I can see a big difference in him, and I've seen that. I'm going to tell you the advantage for Ortiz, and I'm going to give you the advantage for Wilder.
Okay.
For Ortiz, his biggest thing for him, I think if he makes movement and stay in the southpaw stance, and he actually counter with his punches, with his pop, because he has a lot of power on that, that's going to be his advantage. For Wilder, we already know. One thing I'm going to say about Wilder, that my son's been telling me this for the longest, we're talking back and forth about Wilder, is he's better skilled than he was coming to the second fight than he was the first fight.
Better fighter.
So he's got the right hand coming to him, and if Ortiz stays around with him and stays still, it's going to be all over.
There you have it. So coming into this fight, both these guys have been somewhat active since their fight. Wilder's had 2 fights since he fought Luis Ortiz. He's 1-0-1 with 1 KO since his fight with Luis Ortiz. Obviously, he fought the Tyson Fury fight, which many of us here believe was a clear Tyson Fury decision that he was robbed of. But on paper, because that's what we have to go by right now, on paper, it was a draw. Wilder lucked out and got a draw. Then he fought Dominic Breazeale, who was trained under the great Virgil Hunter. Virgil, you got a family, Hunter.
Motivation, craziness, yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
He got flattened like he deserved to be flattened in that fight.
Wow, that was crazy. I never seen that, but yeah, I laugh at that all the time.
Ortiz, on the other hand, he's had 3 fights since the Wilder fight. Been a bit more active than Wilder. He's 3-0 with 2 KOs. He's got wins over Razvan Kajanu, Travis Kaufman, and Christian Hammer. Now, what's funny with Ortiz since the Wilder fight, if let's say if Daniel Dubois had that exact same year right now with him as a prospect, that would be considered a great year. But because Ortiz is as highly ranked as he is, those wins are going to get overlooked.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I think it was the Christian Hammer fight. He didn't get a stoppage in. Christian Hammer was a guy that Tyson Fury stopped.
Wow.
And a couple of other fighters stopped. Well, one or two other fighters stopped him. Tyson Fury stopped him. And Ortiz was unable to stop him. And I was very disappointed with Ortiz in that fight. Even though he got the win, he did what he had to do. I was very disappointed in him for that fight. And I just hope that for him, I want to see the best Ortiz for this fight. I hope that he's in shape. We've seen him a couple of times in person because Ortiz is in the Miami area.
Yeah.
We've seen him at the local fights, and you were saying back then, I think he's in great shape. I said it's not gonna mean a damn thing.
Took a picture with him, and I see him motivated. I think like my son said, out of the last 3 fights he had, 2 of the fights he got knockdowns except for one of them with Christian Hammer. And I think because he's such ranked so high, we expect nothing but the best from him. And we haven't seen that in the last, how many years you were telling me that you don't feel that he has? Ortiz has slowed down. He's not the same Ortiz.
Like 2.5.
Yeah, so but I still have hope. I still have faith. He's got that big Cuban heart in him where, where they count from whatever, and he's doing the best he can. And I think the edge for him to even try to make it past the 7th round, or what was within with the last fight that
you think he has? You think he has to take it past the 7th round?
I think he's gonna go past that. I honestly think he's gonna. He's not gonna go to sleep like he did the last fight with Wilder. I'm telling you that right now. He's gonna put Wilder right out.
Okay.
That's my. I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking too much coffee or something. But that's
listen. I'll be honest with you guys.
Guys, hit that like button.
I'm calling this fight the funeral because that's what it's gonna be for Ortiz when he fights Wilder.
And if he does,
I got Wilder burying Luis Ortiz and effectively retiring his ass in 5 rounds. Under 5 rounds.
Let me ask you something. Is Wilder gonna come in and do what he did to him like he did to Dominic Brazil and he did to
yes, absolutely.
To bolt like that?
Yes, just like that.
He's gonna bum rush him like
It'll
that.
It'll be KO of the year type stuff.
So you're telling me that Wilder's gonna run into and he's just simple for King Kong to come in and give him one of those counter punches with his power. Ain't
no them counter. He gonna be aggressive. He gonna walk straight up to him and he gonna knock his ass out with the right hand.
I'm telling you all right now.
You got that.
Ortiz is gonna put a better fight in there. I promise you that. And if he wins, fine for him. If he don't, go to the limelight, give him respect. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, appreciate it, and thank you for all you hear me here.
All right, so Deontay Wilder, he enters this fight at a very interesting point in his career. Like, it's not even a matter of he needs to win this fight. Like, he needs to win this fight because there's some massive things looming on the table for Deontay Wilder. Obviously there's that big Tyson Fury rematch. On the table, you have the Anthony Joshua fight if he happens to win.
Right.
If Ruiz beats Wilder, then we're talking about a big super fight, PBC undisputed super fight. So there's a lot. Like, he can't lose his fight, and psychologically, that's why I think Wilder isn't going to lose his fight because. Again, I think when you go 12 rounds with a guy like Tyson Fury, and you go all the way to the 12th round, and you're down on the scorecards, and you still find a way to knock him down. That has to do a lot for your confidence. And mentally, I just think Wilder's at a place in his career that if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to be a special kind of fighter, and you're going to need to turn a special kind of performance.
Hear me out. Wilder knocked the F out of Fury with that right hand. What happened?
He got up.
Okay, so you don't think that
oh my God,
King Kong has the same advantage of getting up from that?
No, he ain't Tyson Fury. No, listen.
Come on, guys, you gotta
the heavyweight. Listen, I'm gonna look right into the camera.
Fury got up.
I'm gonna look.
Fury got up.
I'm gonna look right into this damn camera. I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna look at you and say it. No other heavyweight in the world would have got up from that right hand. And I'm gonna look to you and say no other heavyweight in the world would have got up from that right hand.
Because not Irene?
Well, yeah, you talking about Deontay Wilder's power.
Guys, what do you guys think?
He's Paulie Malignaggi
all I'm trying to explain to him, to my son, is that if Fury had a chance to get out from that, any other boxer could do the same thing. His right hand, his right hand is eventually gonna hurt him if he doesn't polish. He's polished his game a lot, but I think he's got to do more than that.
Okay, Mr. Boxing expert, what does he got to do? What does Wilder got to do to polish his game up?
I think he got to throw some more jabs. He's got to come in there and don't think that right hand's gonna be his only his only savior when he's in trouble. He's got to come up with more counter punching. He's got to attack more. Don't come in with that bomb brawling technique. Get in there and box a little bit. Get a bit more quicker. Have a little bit more movement. And don't always. Yes, count on your money shot, but you need to have something for a backup. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, King Kong is coming.
King Kong is gonna get.
This is gonna be King Kong versus Gorilla, and you know what happened when King Kong did the Gorilla, right? And that's gonna be Bronze Bomber.
Okay, well.
But I also, that being said, what I do respect about Wilder, and before I was complaining and bitching about it, I always say he's just holding on to the WC belt and this and that. No, he's not. I think he's just waiting for the legitimate fights that he really wants to fight, and he wants to prove himself to the top dogs. And so be it. If Ortiz wants to give him a shot, okay, but once you put him to sleep, he's going to go on to the next one. So I respect him. He's been holding it too long, but at the same time, a lot of the other fighters haven't come knocking on his door besides King Kong.
Okay, so after Deontay Wilder had the Tyson Fury fight, there was a lot of talk from Wilder, his camp. They did a lot of talking about how they need to get back to basics.
Right.
You know, there was a lot. That was a term being thrown around, going back to basics. And he really. There was no way in hell he was gonna go back to basics against Dominic Breazeale, because let's have it right. Virgil Hunter was training him, and Dominic Breazeale looked scared from the jump.
You knew in that fight when you see Durham,
and he had slow reflexes.
When you see Virgil Hunter on the side, and the boxer's going to, and he's not even punching, using being the mitman, and Wilder and Virgil looks like he's out of space. You already knew that when Breazeale got in there, he was just gonna get a shot to the moon real quick.
Yep.
And that's what happened.
And even if Virgil Hunter wasn't training Dominic Breazeale, like the matchup was all horrible for Breazeale anyway, because he has horrible reflex, like he has very slow reflexes.
Right.
And Wilder's a very quick fighter. And I got this vlog I'm working on with Isaac Chamberlain, because he's been training here in Miami, so I'm putting it together. You guys see a trailer for that soon. But Isaac Chamberlain sparred with Deontay Wilder, and I asked him about what it's like to be in the ring with him, and he told me. I asked him about what people say about his boxing skills and how he has no boxing skills, and he says he doesn't understand that, because when you're in the ring with Wilder, he says he's never been there. And mind you, this is a guy in Chamberlain. He sparred Joshua, he sparred Usyk, he sparred Dillian White, he sparred some of the best guys around his weight class. He says that when that left hand, when he throws that jab, the right hand comes so quick behind it, like you don't have any time to react.
Yeah.
And he said you'd be surprised with how quick Wilder is in the ring, and you'd be surprised with how much that jab will actually blind you and how good it actually is.
Right.
So it might look one way on the outside, but on the inside, he tried to tell me that it's a much different story with Wilder.
Yeah, one of the guys was saying here that he sees that Wilder not having, he doesn't have that much ambition because he turned down the $100 million from the Zone. So he's saying that by him holding the belt, he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. I forgot what was over here. But what I'm getting at is it's going to be a great fight. I think. Who would you guys like to see Wilder fight after my son says he beats Ortiz?
I want to go back to Larry Wade.
Okay.
Because that might be like the most underrated part about this fight. So Luis Ortiz has made a change to his camp. He has employed the services of one of the best, if not, I would say the second best, strength and conditioning coach in all boxing. That's Larry Wade. Now, Larry Wade, he has worked with a couple of fighters, most notably Sean Porter is the main fighter he's worked with, and we all know how good and how in shape Sean Porter is. So he's done some great work there with Sean Porter. He's done some great work with Caleb Plant. So now he gets one of the best pure boxers in the sport at heavyweight in Luis Ortiz. And who knows? That's the only reason why I think Ortiz has no chance in this fight, because I just don't think that his stamina will be able to hold up for 4 or 5 rounds. And Wilder has improved so much mentally and over here that I don't see him.
He did it for more than 7 rounds the first fight.
But the first fight, Wilder was a different fighter. The first fight, he's better. He's a better fighter now. He's more confident. He's harder to beat.
Yeah.
Wilder, as much as people want to give him criticism, Wilder's that MF can fight. He can fight his ass off.
No, I give respect that he got that knockout power. I have to accept that. He's got that. He's got that arsenal in his hand. That right hand is deadly for anybody, potent for anybody. But I just think that Ortiz knows this is his last chance also to do something with his fighting. He knows that, okay, if I don't do something here, I'm just going to go to the limelight, collect my paycheck, and go on. So he's got to come out and show from the onset that, hey, I mean business. At the same time, Wilder's like you're not going to have time. Before you open any of your firepower, I'm going to shot you up and blow you up like he did with Stavern, like he did with Breazeale. He didn't waste no time.
Okay, and this fight means a lot for Luis Ortiz as well, because if he gets beat the hell up, I think he's gonna get beat up in this fight, badly. It could be his last fight, but if he wins this fight, then he winds up making history in boxing. He'll become the first Cuban heavyweight champion, and that's significant because there are some fighters, some of the greatest amateur fighters ever, come from this island, and they both happen to be heavyweights. We're talking about Felix Savon,
oh my God,
and we're talking about Teofimo Stevenson. Now,
Stevenson was great.
Boxing history for you guys. Many of you guys may not know this, but Teofimo Stevenson, I believe he's one of the only fighters to win 3 gold medals. He was so good as a professional, as an amateur fighter, that he was actually offered, I think it was like $2 or $3 million to turn pro and make his pro debut against Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. And he didn't want to leave this country to come to the U.S.
Yeah, and then Felix Savon, he beat up Shannon Briggs in the amateur in the amateurs, and he beat up a couple other heavyweights. You guys who may remember, could let me know in the comments. I can't remember all the guys beat. I do remember him beating Shannon Briggs. So even though there's never been a heavyweight champion from Cuba, they have a very great heavyweight history, an underrated heavyweight history.
I mean,
and how special would it be for Ortiz if he became the first ever Cuban heavyweight champion?
I mean, it'd be beautiful. I mean, we just seen a Mexican do it in Ruiz Jr. So why can't this Cuban fighter do the same thing? Yeah, he's younger and he did it and he accomplished something nobody expected him to do. So I mean, it's just America is the land of opportunity.
That's right.
And right now, this is a big opportunity, more so for King Kong Ortiz than it is for Wilder. Wilder being the younger fighter, the stronger fighter, that can knock out, they got the knockout power to put you to sleep instantly. I think he hasn't been based on age and everything else, but I'm gonna still stick with my man King Kong.
There you have it. Okay, so what your prediction for that fight is?
I think it's gonna go. I think it's either gonna be a UD or and you guys might call me crazy. I can see somehow King Kong counter with one of those powerful punches and almost put it Wilder to sleep like the last time when the referees tried to stop it. Yeah, that's what helped him was the belt.
That's not happening.
Time. I mean,
that's
King Kong had him
happening.
out of shape, like my son says, out of shape. He had Wilder. Wilder was like this.
That's not happening.
If that referee didn't step in on a rip belt in the ring, good night.
If he didn't beat him the
good
first
night, Bronzewama.
If he didn't beat him the first time, he's not beating him the second. Because that was the best. What you saw in that fight, that was the best Louis Ortiz you're gonna see against Deontay Wilder. And it wasn't the referee. And the referee played a role. I'm gonna acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But what really was while Ortiz's ultimate undoing against Deontay Wilder was the fact that he doesn't know what a body shot is. He had Wilder on the ropes. He's over there head hunting. He don't know how to go to the body. He don't know how to do anything but go for the head.
I think
so that's why he's not gonna beat Wilder. And guess what? He's 80 years old. He's got 1,000 amateur fights. He sparred with Joe Louis. He sparred with Jack Johnson. He sparred Rocky Marciano.
He got experience,
right?
guys. Hey, listen.
If you sparred all those guys and you had all those amateur fights, and you got those guys in the comment section talking, and you got the guy on the ropes, how do you not know? You're not gonna learn a body shot at one fight camp.
I have to agree with my son. I don't argue with him about when he says something. We watched other fights with Luis Ortiz, King Kong, and not just at that box, other boxes also. They're actually standing there, and they got the guy like trying to sleep out, but they're not breaking that body down.
Out on his feet.
And my son's like,
out on his feet, and he's not throwing a body shot.
I understand what
so
my
he's
son
not
is
gonna
saying.
learn.
So I gotta give him respect for what he's saying about that. So yeah, but he has to go to the body. So now, like my son said, in order for Ortiz to win, he's got to go to that body, and he cannot be a stationary target.
A lot of people in the comments are talking about how he was saved by the ref, and I agree he was saved by the ref.
Yeah.
But you know what? He had every opportunity in the world to take the responsibility away from the ref and just throw some damn punches to the body, break them down, hand out some rib dinners, take gas out the tank, fold them up like a blue steel chair, and he failed to do it because he wanted to go for the head. He wanted to be Mr. Cubano.
I think every fighter has their own style, and no matter how many times the trainer tells him go to the body or do this, in their mind, that's how he was trained to fight. He's been doing. It's like a saying. So it's very hard to break old bad habits. And one of the biggest mistakes that Ortiz has is like we've been saying when we watch a couple of fights is. He stands there when he's got the guy down. He doesn't break he hits the branches. He doesn't chop the tree down.
There you go. I couldn't have said it any better. Yeah. You said it right there. So I got freaking Deontay Wilder. Listen, I gotta emphasize what I'm saying because I want people to really understand what I'm saying and understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I don't just have him beating Luis Ortiz.
King Kong's coming. Woo!
I don't have him just beating Luis Ortiz. I have him putting him in a casket. I'm talking about fourth round stoppage. I'm talking about hitting with the right hand, having him cease on the ground. This is going to be a bloodbath, and Luis Ortiz is going to get destroyed.
When it's all over, guys, you know what this means, right? When he stands in the ring, he goes like this. Woo! You know who that is. That's all I gotta say.
There you go.
So yeah, so I'm pumped up for that fight.
So you're going. What's your final prediction for that fight?
I'm gonna say Luis Ortiz is gonna either knock him out on one round or he's gonna get a UD win.
Yeah, I'm going with Deontay Wilder, 5th round stoppage. So those are our predictions, and that's just like a gist of what we think about the fight. But let's get some comments, and then after we get to the comments, we'll get into
that like button.
Wilder Ortiz as well, and we'll get into some more boxing news. So what were we at? Jamal Davis says, haha, no, I fought amateur in New York, but I know who you were talking about. Yeah, I saw him, and I'm like, wait a second, is this the guy on my YouTube lives? And I was like, I had to ask him if I see him on YouTube again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up for me. HB says, what's up, BT? Earl Spence,
What's going on?
Charlo Bros, and Richard Comey, they remind me of terrible Terry Norris, and that's HB.
Wow.
Earl Spence, I know, was heavily influenced by Terry Norris. He's on record saying that in interviews, so I could see why he reminds you of those him. The Charlos, I mean, to a point, but I would say Comey and Spence are closer, for me at least, closer to Terry Norris and his style than, let's say, like the Charlos. But that's just my opinion. My man Duck says, come on, Dad. Joshua wanted to fight Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz declined. Don't forget, he declined.
Yeah, no, I remember that too. I was really upset about that because that was a big mistake he made also, and it's just the same thing like Wilder did with Joshua and turned down $100 million. I think the biggest payday for King Kong was $8 million. He turned that down. He wanted a rematch with Wilder. So I'm thinking that when they have fight together, if I had the second fight, I think he's gonna make more in this fight than he would have been with the the Joshua fight when they offered him the $8 million, whatever it was. So yes, I agree with you. Thank you for reminding me for that. I remember that. That was a dumb move by him. If somebody's giving you the $8 million, you need to just take it, and he didn't do that. But so be it. Wilder didn't take the $100 million from Joshua.
Martin Kearney says, I think Ruiz wins that AJ rematch. Wilder's like a heavyweight Thomas Hitman Hearns. And how come Earl Spence is quiet despite calling himself a savage? Okay, so to answer the first part of your question, you said that Wilder, or you think that Ruiz is going to win the AJ rematch. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm leaning slightly towards AJ as well. I'm not really a big fan of the spar. I mean, I made a video, but I'm not really a big fan of the sparring partners AJ's been bringing in for his fight with Andy Ruiz. And Wilder being like a heavyweight Tommy Hearns.
So you said, clarify that. You said you wanted Joshua to beat Ruiz.
I want Joshua to win, but I think I'm leaning towards Ruiz.
Okay.
There's a difference between what I want and what I think. There's usually a difference always, okay?
Yeah. I got Joshua.
Wilder, and he asked me, is Wilder like a heavyweight Tommy Hearns? Yeah,
you might as well.
Got the same build, one punch. He's not as chinny as Tommy Hearns. Yeah. I mean, he's been hurt a couple of times, but I think he's a bit more durable than Tommy Hearns.
And he's not easy to break down either. So.
Okay, and then you said, how come Earl Spence is quiet despite calling himself a savage? I think he's quiet because of the fact that it's probably a lot worse than he would like us to believe, or PBC. You know, his accident, was a serious thing. So hopefully he's okay, and
prayers go out.
Maybe we don't know. Maybe he knows that his boxing career is over, but he just doesn't feel, he doesn't want to say it right now. We don't know. He's in denial. We don't know. But we'll see what happens with Earl Spence, and we'll definitely be covering it here on True School Sports as it develops. East African Negus. Negus. So I didn't say the actual word. True. Are you supporting your Cubano folks, or are you siding with Wilder? Honestly, I'm not going for anybody. Whoever wins. I'm not really Wilder's cool, Ortiz is cool, but I wouldn't really say I'm a massive fan of either one of them now. If this is Fury or Joshua, or if this was Fury, I would be different. Or if it was like Dale.
You all know who I'm going for, the Cuban fighter. You already know that. No hate to Wilder.
So a couple of people asked earlier, why are you supporting Ortiz? One guy said that he thinks that you're supporting them because Ortiz is the same age as you.
Yeah, that could be it too. There we go. No, honestly, I've always been a firm believer. Everybody's entitled to the second chances. I don't really think that if the referee with that bell would have stopped it, I honestly think that Ortiz would have put Wilder out. That's why I'm saying was the bell. So now this answer will be answered on the second fight, and I've always been like that.
This answer will be answered.
I mean, this question will be answered by the fight, and I always believe in that. And I also believe I've always been a big fan of him. So whether he wins or not, respect to both fighters, but I'm gonna stay with Ortiz.
My man Steve says, if Ortiz trains as he claims and his physique changes, he might have a 60-40 chance against him. Wilder, now it appears when he rematches, he knows something a lot of us don't know. That sets him up for the KO. I agree, because when he fought Stavern, I was there. That was a performance and a half.
Right.
He is absolutely crucified.
What you're saying?
Got him out of there.
So what you're basically saying is, since Wilder already fought Ortiz, he knows where and how to attack him to get that big KO. That's what you're basically telling me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna counteract that and say you're right. I agree with you to a point, but I'm gonna disagree with you to the point that the conditioning coach is going to play a big part.
You think
in
it's going to play that big of a role?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
Because I don't think Ortiz is going to gas out. Ortiz had him in that corner, boom, 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 can get him back in that situation. And most of Wilder's been battle tested, but I don't think, like when he went with Fury, he went all the way to what, 11th round, 12th round? And I think that this right here is going to be going to test him again, and that's why he always comes out right away and bum rush. That's why they call him the bronze bomb or whatever, and goes right because he knows he's got to take advantage of that. But other than that, you also can't disagree with me and say that Ortiz is not the better skill boxer in this fight.
Everyone is the better skill boxer than Wilder. Why? Everybody keep saying that. Oh, he's the better. Everybody that fought Wilder, Duarte was the more skill boxer.
I'm just trying to tell you.
All these guys are the most.
Is going with the King Kong. His skills, experience.
Listen,
I think he lost the fight. He admits he lost the fight, and he's thanking Wilder for giving him another rematch. And I guarantee you, he's not going to sleep on this opportunity.
Listen.
And that's why he's got a new conditioning coach. Bring him in, because that's why I'm taking Ortiz.
Listen, I like Larry Wade. I think he's a great conditioning coach. I've actually seen his work up close in person, but he's no miracle worker. He's not gonna work no damn miracles on come November 23rd. Come November 23rd, the same thing will happen. The same thing will happen. This motherfucker's gonna gas out. And it might even be worse. He's too old to be doing strength and conditioning and all this stuff. He needs to be worrying about boxing. He should be in the boxing dictionary learning what a body shot is. Because had he knew what a body shot was, he would have got Wilder out of there. There would have been no controversy with the reps. But he doesn't know what a body shot is. He is what he is. Once you bake a cake, it's a damn cake, and that's a wrap.
I want to tell you guys, fact of the matter is, Ortiz got the powerful counter. He's going to come in a southpaw, and he's in better condition than he was last fight. So I'm going to go with that.
There you go. Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
At East African.
Please hit that like button, subscribe. Thank
Wilder
you so much.
KOs Ortiz. I
Fighting
agree.
my t-shirts. Thank you so much.
Plus, Wilder uses his jab to pull his opponent's arms down or keeps jabbing to their heads to go to the right. So to get to that. Yes, he's very good at setting up his right hand, and that's why that's something that that's one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how he's able to set up his right hand.
He goes like this and pushes on the other guy and sets it up and then come like that. Are you telling me about Wilder?
No, it's him setting up his right hand.
Yeah.
So sometimes he'll jab you to the stomach.
Right.
Sometimes he's jabbing you here.
Right.
Sometimes his jab is a real short touch. He's just touching you.
Right.
Sometimes he commits and steps behind the jab with conviction. But either way, he knows how to set it up and he knows how to get your he knows how to get your head in a spot where that right hand is gonna come and he's gonna light you up.
I'm gonna surprise you fans. Let's check this out, subscribers. Check this out.
Nobody.
All right, listen. Wilder's gonna come in with that right. And because of his training conditioning, that Ortiz guy's gonna come with that right. Guess what?
God, bro.
Ortiz gonna slip to the side and counter it.
No,
Boom. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
Larry Wade is that coach is not gonna. Listen, I'm telling you. I think as good as a coach as he is, strength and conditioning wise, it's gonna work against him. He's too fucking old. He's too old to be doing strength and conditioning work. He's too old. He's like 100 years old. He's a freaking. He's a walking corpse.
Put it like this. Get up, when you ride a bike, you don't have a bike for a while, get back on the bike, what do? You keep riding that bike, right?
Correct.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ortiz is going to go back into the big fight, big atmosphere, he's going to get a second opportunity, and I don't care what you guys think, if he's slow as a turtle, if that turtle can still counter punch, and still have power behind his punches, and just catches Wilder one time in the corner, it's done. I don't want to hear about no bells. I don't want to hear about no referees. I don't want to hear that he's too old. I just want him to get in the fight and let's get it done. And we're going to find this out in this rematch, November 23rd.
A lot of people are saying that that Deontay Wilder is a big hypocrite because of the fact that he always criticizes people for taking PEDs and drugs. Like for example, he was going in on Povetkin for testing positive for meldonium, and he convicted Povetkin, and he convicts all these fighters. And projects like he's this morally superior guy to everybody in boxing, but then yet Luis Ortiz, a guy who's tested positive not once but multiple times for anabolic steroids, is getting a second payday. What do you make of that?
I mean, at the end of the day, we know how boxing is. Money sells, names sell. I'm not saying that King Kong's a big name, but this fight, for some reason, before Wilder fought Fury was big then, right? And it's going to be big now. I just think that's and PBC. You always told me that PBC has a great way of doing their promotions and everything, and I think it's going to be great. As far as the PEDs and all that, I agree with you 100%. We can go through the prime example of Jamel Big Baby Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He was caught with all this stuff, and sooner or later they're gonna put him on some championship, whatchamacallit. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I'm not arguing your point. I'm just telling you that this is how boxing is. So the reason they get behind some of these boxers, I don't agree with. You know?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Martin Kearney says my all-time. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just lower the legs on it.
Let me just make sure this is good. All right, it's charging. Okay. My all-time favorite Cuban fighter was 3-time Olympic heavyweight champ Teofimo Stevenson. Yeah, he was a fantastic fighter, exceptional fighter. And that's what it is. Yeah, 3-time gold medalist, I believe. So yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, Doug said Dad's supporting Ortiz because they are the same age. In his 50s and thriving.
Hey,
Let's go, champ.
Hey, Doug, man. I think, you know, about 50. I just think that Wilder is a great champion. I'm not discrediting him. He's got that power to knock anybody out. But I just feel, and I always go with what I feel. I'm not saying I'm always right, and sometimes I'm not right. You know, I think that Ortiz gonna come up. He lived through the hype last time with him, even though he got knocked down. And I think he's gonna live up to the hype and finish the job. Why don't you ask Sean Porter? What were you telling me about that? Because Wilder didn't vote for Sean Porter. Sean Porter's going back on him. What were you telling me?
I don't know.
Yeah, you were telling me about Sean. You say Sean Porter. Sean Porter said that you say he's only going for Ortiz because Wilder called him out and didn't cheer for his last fight either. He wanted him to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You told me something like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Martin Kearney says, check it out. Fantasy fight heavyweight between Deontay Wilder and Ernie Shavers.
Oh my God.
Two hard murderous punchers.
I'm taking Ernie Shavers.
You sure?
I'm still taking Ernie Shavers. You see his knockouts? Ernie Shavers was no joke.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw his knockouts.
I mean, Ernie Shavers was big. I would take him over Wilder.
I'll go Wilder.
No, I'm taking Shavers.
I think
and
Wilder.
I'm going to say it again, and you're going to disagree with me. I think Ernie Shavers was a better skill fighter besides just knockout power.
Listen, everyone is a more skilled fighter. That's not saying that everybody.
I got to give the advantage to who I feel is a better fighter, and I'm going to go with Ernie Shavers. How many knockouts? I don't know. I have to check this out. How many knockouts did Ernie Shavers in the career? And how many fights did he have to be fought the top? You got to also compare.
His era was like 10 times better.
Okay,
He's like 10 times better.
Okay, so therefore he had a better resume. So you got to go give the. I'm going with Shavers.
Resumes don't win fights.
And then Doug, you're gonna tell me that? Oh, here he goes again, following the old school stuff.
Pretty much. Doug said Duapas didn't even get knocked down by that right hand.
Which one?
Johan Duapas versus Wilder.
No, he didn't. So, what that tell you?
Doug also says that he believes Joseph Parker would get up from it as well. I'm gonna highly disagree.
Wow.
Joseph Parker's gonna go. If Wilder hits him with the right hand, he's gonna be at freaking Burger King in New Zealand. That's what he's gonna be. And he ain't getting up no damn Wilder right hand. But
it's good night.
I agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Guys,
this is that.
I think the Wilder right. Well, this is Steve. I think the Wilder right was not as clean. Was not as clean as the Dominic Brazil fight. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
Whether it was clean or not, it did its purpose. I mean, I was surprised.
No, it was not as clean. He didn't say it wasn't clean. It's not as clean.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
The straight right killed the southpaw and the left hook. You damn right. And what is this? This is an orthodox versus southpaw matchup. So Ortiz, I'm telling you, at some point in the fight, and it might even be earlier because of the fact that he's doing all this strength and conditioning work.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I think he might gas out.
I'm a southpaw. Jab, boom. There you go. When you say what's gonna happen, that Wilder's gonna come in with
the straight right hand's gonna kill him. That's what I'm saying. And HB saying the same thing.
Wow. Okay.
But Mr. Heisenberg, he's gonna side with you. He says he's got Ortiz winning via seventh round KO.
There you go. Let's go.
Shout out Mr. Heisenberg.
Yep. Shout out Mr. Heisenberg. That's right. I just think I'm telling you, Ortiz is. People say that he's too old, but nobody that's on the top actually want to step in the ring with that old man. I like to see action is better than talking. Talking.
Because Wilder has blessed him with another opportunity, does that make you respect Wilder more? A lot more? Does he come?
Oh, he's gonna def any fighter that gets in the ring.
No, I'm talking about Wilder. Don't give me no.
Oh, you're talking about Ortiz or Wilder?
Wilder. Is Wilder getting more of your respect because he's stepping in there with Ortiz again?
I think
even though Joshua tried to do the same thing and offer him more money and transfer all.
I just think that Wilder wanted this fight more, and because the problem with the Joshua and Wilder fight that never happened, and I have to agree with Wilder on this part, and I know it's go back and forth, this and that. It's supposedly Wilder feels that there was a lot of red tape constantly around it, this and that. When he got Ortiz just signed right on the outline. There was no kind of BS and this and that. And even to get this fight happen, even though they both beat PBC fighters, it got happen right away. It was no red tape in between.
Of course it happened right away. Ortiz has nothing.
So that's why he's always discrediting the Joshua fight. He even said, his most recent interview, he even said the same thing. He said the reason that fight never happened, I didn't want to go back and forth on this. It's not about them. It's that all this red tape back and forth from the whole thing. I just got tired of it. With Ortiz, I got to give him more respect. Because the man stepped up to the plate.
He had to. He has no other opportunities. He has to.
So yes. So
he has to step up.
I'm not gonna say that. I think he's gonna respect him as a boxer, as another opponent coming in. But Ortiz is gonna come out to put the lights out on Ortiz. Wilder's gonna come in to put the lights out on Ortiz. No doubt about that. But just be aware that King Kong is also aware of that also.
But my thing is this: you're saying that there was too many There was too much red tape around the Joshua fight, and Ortiz just stepped up. Ortiz had to step up. What else he got for him? Joshua got options. And let's not.
No, you're talking about Wilder, not Joshua, right?
You mentioned Joshua.
Yeah,
you mentioned Joshua. And I'm saying what I'm trying to tell you is, Joshua tried to fight him. Joshua couldn't get the only guy that's why Andy Ruiz gets double the credit for winning, because Joshua tried to get Edward in the damn ring. He tried to get
kudos.
All these guys.
I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to meet up sometime. I think at the end of the day, this going forward, everybody's waiting for the outcome of the Joshua Ruiz fight. And eventually, Wilder's going to have to I'll put it this way. In order to define yourself as a real champion, you're going to have to fight the true champion. Right now, we know that we don't know what Joshua's going to be at, but he's going to have to face some music and fight the top dogs to have a great legacy and a great resume.
So somebody said that Wilder's 1-2 is Tommy Hearns-esque.
Yeah.
Shavers was murderous. Shavers was a great fighter. These are some of the comments. Shavers was a great fighter.
Yeah.
I saw another comment I wanted to get to. Somebody said
there was another boxer. I forgot his name. Not Shavers.
Mondaloso S says that your dad looks 40 years younger than Luis Ortiz.
Let's go, champ. Let's go. Thank you. Gracias. Yeah.
Okay, what else we got? My man XAce99X, he says that Adam Kownacki would give Wilder problems. I'm gonna I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hey.
I really think I made a video about this. I said the minute Adam Kownacki steps up, he's losing.
And
he's losing.
Didn't he get offered a bigger fight and he turned it down?
He turned on the Joshua fight too. Joshua was trying to get him in the ring.
The fight that when I first seen him Kownacki fight, I was like, this guy's nothing. He's a bum. He's fat. He's overweight. This and that. But I thought the same thing with Ruiz. And he's a very active fighter. He punched and everything. But for him to turn that fight down, it says a lot about me already. He didn't want to step up to the big dance.
Our main man Jay Abdullah says, what do we think about Alexander Povetkin versus Michael Hunter? It's a very good fight, Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin. I think this fight for them is happening at the perfect time in terms of excitement and how good of a fight it will be. It's happening at the right time because of the fact that Michael Hunter is on his way up. He's had enough step-up fights to where he's been winning. He beat the Martin Bukolis of the world. Yep. He was a fantastic amateur. He fought Usyk at cruiserweight, so he's gotten some good experience in the ring. He's been getting some wins. He looks to be a guy that will be in that top 10 in the heavyweight division very soon. Povetkin, on the other hand, he's been through the wars. He hasn't completely fallen off the cliff as far as where he's at in his boxing career. Yeah. But he's not what he once was. So I think it's a great crossroads fight. And if Michael Hunter beats Alexander Povetkin, he's going to put himself in a very lucrative position for 2020.
And I also look at that fight, the Povetkin-Michael Hunter fight, as a youth with versus experience. And the experience being Povetkin than Michael Hunter. But I think in that fight I would pick Hunter. He's a great fighter. He's coming in very active. But he goes in there, and Povetkin's time's coming up. He needs to jump into this fight and get his opportunities and do what he's got to do. But that fight is just youth that gets experience, and I will take Hunter.
So you're taking Michael Hunter?
I'm
giving a slight ice to Michael Hunter. I think Michael Hunter's combination punching, his boxing IQ, his solid punching power, his just his skills, and his youth, along with his youth, are going to be the difference in that fight. But I would not be the least bit surprised if Povetkin catches this dude with like a massive left hook and puts him in some seriously uncomfortable positions.
And not to change the subject, but what do you guys thought about Pula fighting the other day? He's supposed to be mandatory for next.
Oh my God, yeah. So Pula fought Riddell Booker on the undercard for what you call it, the Jamel Herring versus Lamar Roach. Wow, what a bad fight that was. That was a horrible fight.
It was a boring fight. So my question to you guys is: do you think he should still be mandatory after that boring fight? Yeah, he's 28-1 or whatever he is, but that turnout he put out, they always say that how boxing or fans or how they look at you from your last fighter in the ring.
You're only as good as your last fight.
Yeah,
so
you're
only as good as your last fight.
I mean, I thought that was disappointing, and I don't even think he's very. He was in La La Land in that fight. He didn't show me anything.
Yeah, interesting. From LA12, he says Dillian White or Luis Ortiz, who would win?
I'm gonna take.
Me and you have spoken about this a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ortiz.
You wouldn't, because I'm gonna tell you guys. 6 months ago, this was very different. Yeah. You were telling me about how he could be Dillian White. I said no. Dillian White will iron him out.
He's a younger guy. He's coming in with more speed. He got more power. He got a lot of power in his punches. And I mean, I think he would definitely tire out. And
you guys getting breaking news just as much as I am in this live. Jesus.
I have to be realist on this. I think after talking to myself for long, looking at the studies and everything, and sometimes I have to see the facts the way they are. And if they fought, I think it'd be tough. I think who you talking about earlier? That Chisora called them somebody, or who you told me earlier? Chisora wants to fight.
Usyk.
Usyk wants to fight. What do you guys think about that? Usyk and Chisora fight.
We'll get to that in a second. But Anthony McKen said that PBC will recycle Dominic Brazil at this rate. Where's Stavern these days? They might dig him out. Yeah, I think they're gonna start recycling Dominic Brazil.
You think so?
And yeah, of course. And as for Stavern, he gets fought Joe Joyce recently, and he lost. Remember they dug him out for that fight.
Oh my God! I mean, he might as well just hang it out. To be honest with you, he's done.
He's been done.
I think once Wilder put him out there, he hasn't come back from that yet. From a devastating right punch. But I don't think that's going to happen to Ortiz though.
My main man Duck says that Konaki is another overhyped PBC boxer. Anthony McKen. Doug said that Konaki is a damn bum with zero defense.
Well, there you go. I mean, when a boxer turns down a big fight with a big fighter and they're hyping up to be something good, and he's got the opportunity, he turns it down for what the recent case was, then I can't respect that. So Konaki to me is, I'm not gonna say he's garbage, but I can't respect him the same way.
Martin Kearney says a question for you, BT and Pops and everyone in this chat: who is everyone's favorite all-time fighter? Mine is Sugar Ray Leonard. So who is your favorite all-time fighter?
I like. I'm a big fan of.
You already know my answer.
Yeah, I like Rocky Marciano.
That's your favorite fighter?
I like him and Miles Marvin.
Those are your two favorite fighters.
Yeah.
Brock to Massachusetts' very own, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm big on Miles Marvin and Rocky Marciano.
Okay. Listen, I don't even know why you asked me that question. If you watch my channel for any amount of time, my favorite fighter is Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. The best.
To this day.
TBA.
Till this day.
And listen, I'm not gonna get into this too much, but Naoya Inoue ducked over Gonzalez, and Naoya Inoue is arguably the best fighter in boxing. So just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Chase Athletics says True School Sports. What's up, bro? What's up, Chase Athletics?
Chase Athletics.
He's picking Michael Hunter. Michael the Bounty Hunter.
Thank you. That's what I said.
My man, Ace, he says his favorite fighter of all time is Charles Walk This Earth Like a God, Martin. That's right. That's right. Charles Martin.
You're killing me on that one.
The best. The best.
No lie, that guy's a big dude. When I seen you interview him, he's a big dude, but yeah. Crazy.
The Wonderful Life of Bob J says, so you like Rocky Marciano, and Wilder is not one of your favorite fighters. It doesn't make sense.
I like Wilder. I'm not discrediting for his right punch. I just think that I'm supporting Ortiz because, one, I believe, and my son will tell me something, Dad, you feel so full of it. I believe in second chances, and I think that that last fight that Ortiz had with Wilder, I still believe that if that referee or the bell wasn't there, Ortiz would have walked out for the belt.
Well,
so now, this would justify and give justice to whatever because and I understand what you're getting at. You're saying Rocky Marciano was knocking out the guys, left one of the most guys spent time in the gym. How can you not like Bronze Wilder? I do like him.
Yeah, the hell's your problem?
On this fight, I've been supporting Ortiz. I'm gonna go with him. I don't know if maybe it's a gumbo jumbo I'm eating, the coffee I'm drinking.
Probably.
That's what I'm going with.
Probably. All right, getting to some more boxing news here, just in regards to the heavyweight division and Wilder and Fury. Tyson Fury and Bob Arum recently, they both recently confirmed, because there's been a lot of speculation regarding Tyson Fury with Deontay Wilder, stating that where's the phone? Where's the phone? You have the phone?
No, like beside you, but then.
Oh, here. For the comments.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of speculation with Fury that he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder in a rematch because he's been talking. He wrestled Braun Strowman in WWE. Now he's training. Now he's training with
Darren Till too.
Darren Till for MMA.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people out there that think that Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. But this article here on Bad Left Hook states that Bob Arum and Tyson Fury have both confirmed that during February, I can see right there. During February 22nd, that the Wilder Fury rematch is still on target for February 22nd. So, you never really know. I always say in boxing, it doesn't really matter. You can't really trust what these promoters or fighters say until you have a date, venue, and a TV network in place. So
always said that.
there's a lot that could happen between now and February 22nd. Because that's a lot of time.
Right.
But if you are looking for something to be optimistic about. Both Bob Arum and Tyson Fury have both said
that the fight's gonna happen.
The fight's gonna happen February 22nd. That it'll be in Las Vegas, and the best part about it is it's not gonna start at 1 a.m.
Wow, there you go. Yeah.
Canelo,
So
it is what it is.
And hopefully the zone won't do the same BS as they did. Put out secondary.
There you go. So it's your boy BT. We're live here on True School Sports with my dad. We are looking ahead to the Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz rematch scheduled to take place on November 23rd. Live fight reaction will be that day, so that's a programming reminder for you. Be there at B Square on November the 23rd for not just that live fight reaction, but in the afternoon we have the Caleb Smith John Ryder live fight reaction. Make sure you guys smash that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and feel free to super chat to the channel if you like what we got going on here on True School Sports. Now, moving on to some more boxing news. All right, Tyson Fury. We just talked about Tyson Fury. He's getting maybe he's getting too big for his britches these days, because here's what he said. All right, he said that he's threatening to continue his career in America and to turn away from ever boxing again in his native country of the UK. Here's what he said in regards to that. He said, I quote, "They had their chance. They didn't treat me well. Over here in the United States, I get treated like a superstar." And that's what it is. So what do you make of Tyson Fury never box in the UK again?
I never take that literally what he says. Sometimes I just think he's great. He's a great know how to promote it. You're not going to turn your back on your UK. That's where you're from. That's where you became famous. That's where they love you. That's where you made everything. It's just a bunch of crap, like he always says. I'm glad he's actually brought in his name in the U.S. market with doing what he's doing. It's something that Wilder hasn't done besides acting or whatever he wants to do. But you got to give kudos to him. He's just a good promoter of what he says. So you can't always take everything he says literally.
Okay. I hope he fights in the UK again.
I think he will. I think he will. I think eventually he's got to go back home. I mean, he goes back, so he lives there. So I don't think so. I think it's all a promotion hoopla that he's just putting out there, and you just got to see it for what you see it. But you already know Tyson Fury. He says one thing in 2 seconds, and he changes his mind. But he's good at that.
Very, very, very bipolar. Very good at pushing buttons. Very good at manipulating people, and that's why I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, because of the fact that he knows how to push the right buttons of his opponents and of people, and that gets them in a position to where they're not able to perform at their best.
And if the formula works, why go ahead and change it?
If it's not broken, don't fix it, damn it.
That's
Straight up, don't fix it. Okay. Other heavyweight news, you got Alexander Usyk, all right, open to the Derek Chisora fight. If he can't get the winner of AJ Ruiz because he's the mandatory, he wants Derek Chisora. Now, David Haye had some things to say about this, because obviously what's funny, David Haye is actually Chisora's manager.
It's crazy, right?
It's funny how that works. Only in boxing because something like that happen. But
he's a
David Haye has pretty much said that that if that he was at the WBO convention recently,
Okay.
and if it makes that it makes sense for them to sanction Usyk versus Chisora if the Usyk versus Ruiz Joshua winner doesn't come straight off. So look, I think it's funny because I think Chisora, we watched his last fight against David Price, and even the fight before that against who did he fight before that? I think it was Carlos Takam.
Who's that?
Chisora. He fought Carlos Takam.
Yeah.
He fought David
and,
Price. Either way, look, I just think since he's gotten with David Haye, for whatever the case may be, he looks like the UK's version, and I mean this in the nicest way. He looks like the UK bootleg version of Joe Frazier. He's fighting better than he's ever fought in his life.
Yeah.
What would you make of a potential Usyk versus Chisora matchup if Usyk can't get the Joshua Ruiz winner next?
I think that would be a great fight. I think from what we've seen from Chisora last time, we actually seen him not come out like a brawler and fight. He was actually fighting and using his skills in a way that was to his advantage. Something that I never seen from Chisora. He always came out there attacking and doing crazy stuff. He actually is molded into a fighter where he has to use his skill and think about what he's going to do and use his game plan to beat his opponent. So I was very happy about that. So I think that would be a good fight. That'd be a good test for Usyk. He's going to fight. Chisora's got some power too. We want to see it or not. I think he'll test him, but I think at the end, I'm still going to go with Usyk.
And Usyk's a fighter. Well, like not Usyk, Chisora. I mean, he might be aging like fine wine on here. Like he's doing all right for himself. So shout out to Alexander Usyk. I like what I've been seeing from him. I like the fact that he's not War Chisora all the time.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's showing different dimensions, and look, when you're a fighter, like when boxing's much like life, it's like one success after another, no matter how big or how small, it gets you momentum. So I would like to see Usyk fight Chisora because of the fact that with Chisora would be a good test for him. He hasn't really like he fought. Who was the guy he fought?
I forgot who he fought, but it wasn't like
the guy he fought. It was an overmatched opponent.
Yeah,
and this would actually be a good, solid, stern test for him.
I mean, he's got to get tested anyways to show the heavyweights that he actually is Usyk I'm talking about. He is the real deal, even though I really feel strongly about him. He's got to go out there, and I'm going to tell you right now, Chisora is no easy customer. So, yes, for him, that'll be good if that happens. I would like also, first of all, it's a different topic, but Joshua and Ruiz, I got Joshua. If Joshua wins, I want him to fight all the other names that he hasn't fought before and just go up the ladder. If that happens, by Usyk, it'll be a good test for him, which is just all right.
Oh yeah, Anthony McKen, thank you. Yeah, he fought Artur Spilka. There you go. That's who Chisora fought. So thank you for that. HB has an interesting comment that I kind of wanted to take a break from reading these articles and get to. He said that boxing fans and media bullied and made a meme of Julian Williams when he got KO'd by Charlo. But once he beat Hurd, he's everyone's favorite fighter. They only love you when you're on top. What do you think about that?
I can't agree to that because there's a lot of bandwagon fans or casual fans that don't know a lot of things about things. They just jump from one side to another. But those that know boxing know what to feel for the fighter and what you think of it. I think that Jake Rock Williams he did what he had to do. He conquered. He beat Hurd, who was supposed to be a big whatever favorite. Blah, 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 blah.
But early in his career, he was stopped by Jamal Charlo.
Yeah, it's okay. That just only made him hungry to be a better fighter, correct his mistakes, and go up the ladder and be more hungry and get where he's at.
Truthfully, on this channel, I've always rated Julian Williams highly as a fighter.
Yeah, so
and it was great. I was happy for him when he beat Jared. I was happy for him because, truthfully, anybody who watched that Charlo fight when he got knocked out by Charlo, in fact, that was the first fight I ever did live fight reaction for. Fun fact here on True School Sports. Julian Williams versus Jamal Charlo was the first fight I ever did live fight reaction for. And Julian Williams was outboxing him. He looked great, and then bang, that was all she wrote.
Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene.
So I'm happy for him, and he's got the belts. Nobody's taking it from him, so I don't think it's going to be easy to get it from him, and I wish him the best. On the other hand, I don't know what's happening with Hurd.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Hurd. Martin Kearney says something interesting here. He said, I once met Smoking Joe Frazier and chatted with him for 30 minutes. What a gentleman. R.I.P. Chan.
Wow.
I'm sure that was a treat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky myself to meet. I met a lot of great heavyweights myself. Bo, Holyfield, Holmes.
It's funny you talking about that. I was just watching the video about rest in peace, Joe Frazier and Smoking Joe, and I was with his farewell song and everything on the social media, and I was thinking about it. Man, he seems like a humble guy. that song he was playing this morning that I was listening to. That we were talking about early in the morning. This morning we were talking. When I tell you, I'm looking at Frazier in his video. Very humble on the video. So yeah, you were telling me about you like the song.
It was a song?
There was a song that
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, there was a song you like, I like that song in the background. But all respect, so yeah. Sometimes we don't know people, and we can't always go, like my son tells me, and I listen to him, and I tell him sometimes you can't just go by other people tell you about anything, any place, or anywhere. You got to experience it yourself. And the same with people you get to meet. It's better for you to go to meet them and see how they are, and not just go what the media or anybody says.
Exactly. Jairo Galvez, interesting question here. We're gonna switch gears here because this is not a boxing question, but it's a food question. He says, Pops and BT, are your Cuban sandwiches overrated?
Well, first of all, I eat more. I tend to eat more.
And he's Puerto Rican, just so you know. He's full Puerto Rican.
He's
partially Cuban.
Yeah. Puerto Rican, so I've tasted the Cuban sandwiches, but honestly, I have to ask my wife that because she's full Cuban. She would know that answer. But as far as me, I stick more to the Puerto Rican. I can't tell you which is better.
Do you like them?
I do eat them, but I don't.
No, I know you eat.
No.
Of course you eat them. We know you eat.
Yeah. But
do you like them?
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay. Nothing special?
For me, there's nothing special. It's pork and pickles and
cheese,
whatever. Yeah, it's nothing. But for you ask her to, and I respect it to where you come from, on the Cubans, and they'll tell you that it's the greatest thing in the world.
Absolutely. A couple of people in the comments are naming their favorite fighters. Steve says Vander Holyfield, the best ever. His record is in stone. Four out of 5 time heavyweight champion. Yeah, one of the only. I think he's the only fighter to win the heavyweight title 4 times.
And
him and Ali, I think.
It's good. Talking about Holyfield, we just watched another program about him. If you guys ever get into any money or you make money and you know how to invest it wisely and do your research and make sure that your team that you choose or somebody represent you to do the right way, or just do yourself. Don't just make sudden decisions. I was watching a video from Holyfield early this morning, and he lost over $200 million. Damn. And it's a new show that
he bought a $20 million house and it cost $1 million.
These athletes have lost a lot of money
financially
and get them back to where they got to be at.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to A-Rod.
Yeah, so
didn't like him as a player, but he's doing his thing.
He's doing his thing to help these athletes that lost a lot of money, but little money got left, to invest it in a way and use their boxing or whatever the profession is to make that money back. And it's just sad to see a fighter, not just Holyfield, other ones that lost over $200 million, and they actually it's the sentence they got everything paid for, but they're happy, but it's like when you're up here with all that money and then you come down to reality, it just all the people that backstab you and everything. So just young guys, young bucks, listen to, do your research. Like I tell my sons, don't just listen to anybody, and look at your team and look at your investment before you put any money out there. Because I mean, take it from Holyfield. He'll tell you he's trying to rebound from all that now. And it's very hard for him.
I mean, I have my own opinions on that, but
yeah.
I won't say about whether it's hard or not. I don't.
Right.
I don't really think it's that hard because I know how much money he makes per an appearance.
So no. Right, I understand what you're saying.
That boy is banking. He's making money.
He is, but regardless of how much money he's making, if he had that $200 million now and then he go on lavishly spending and everything,
you live and you learn.
What I'm getting at is he's learning, and I'm just trying to tell the young subscribers out there and anybody else to just, if you have any money, even if you have a little bit, save it, invest it wisely. 1 penny is more penny than you had yesterday, and just be smart with your money and just don't go make sudden decisions. And even A-Rod said that a lot of the problem with Holyfield was that he didn't, when he did his business adventures, he didn't make ventures that were towards his boxing, that reflected boxing, and that every time they would sit on the table and negotiate, he would just say yes. He wouldn't ask important questions. Well, how's my money going to be? How much am I going to lose? And I'm just telling you guys, it's an eye-opener. I know you guys know I'm not telling you stupid. I mean, even me, I'm 51 years old. I got my son telling me. I have to humble to my son. I'll be telling him. He's telling me on the real deal. He's not going to all my craziness and all these stuff that I believe in. He's like, Dad, you got to open up to a lot of things. So I love my son for telling me that. And I just want to give you guys a little bit to you guys also. I love you guys for supporting the channel.
Yes, yeah. See, you thought you guys were coming here for boxing talk, and you guys are getting financial advice. Nelson Heyman, we call you Nelson Heyman. Jesus.
Yeah.
But XAce99X, he says Crawford and Andrade are the best fighters from America. I mean, they're some of the best fighters in the world. Listen. Unpopular opinion. I'm gonna raise my hand and say unpopular opinion. I've said this before in my lives. I think Andrade is the most skilled and the best American fighter, but he just hasn't had the chance to prove it yet.
I mean, we've been saying this for the longest. My son and I were talking about this. That if Canelo and Andrade would fight, who you think would be? You think Andrade would be? Yeah, and
maybe not in the scorecards though. Maybe not in the scorecards. Everybody, they might hit him with the okie doke.
And just recently, it's funny we're talking about this. Eddie Hearn, man, I hope we don't try to get a GG thing. After Canelo won this fight, he was come out saying on social media that he got 5 fighters lined up for Canelo.
Andrade was fifth option.
Canelo, and then
Andrade was fifth option.
And he had GG on the top. I forgot, had Callum Smith. And, who were the other fighters? It was Callum Smith.
Mitch Bivol.
Bivol. And Saunders and Bidibel. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want him. No one Eddie Hearns, he'll probably put him with some, try to get that friggin' GG thing. I don't want that. Canelo doesn't want to either.
He'll probably fight Rob Brandt.
Oh, no. So what I'm getting at...
he'll probably fight Rob Brandt.
I mean, if Boo, Andrew, and I agree with my son on that one. A lot of people say last time he had the last fight, he was just clowning around and everything, but he knew he already had the fight won. But if he gets down to business with Canelo, and he's called him out, he even said, Boo came out and said, I'll even go up to your weight class and beat you wherever you want me to beat you. And Canelo still hasn't answered.
My man HB has 2 comments here, actually. He says, okay, so the first one's about James Toney. Says, all James Toney did was spar. He didn't lift weights. He didn't run. He hit the bags and pads because they don't hit back. Toney was definitely old school, but that's why he sounds like he talks in cursive.
Wow. the same way he talks is the way he's in the ring, cursive and doing things the way he's supposed to do it. Hey, kudos to him.
And then HB also says BT post some recent sparring. I've been out the gym, man. Like I haven't really been training like that. You know, I've been staying in shape. Like this morning, I swam 20 laps.
Yeah.
I've been running here and there, but I haven't really been doing as much boxing training because you guys see we have a new set here. We moved into a recent apartment. We've had a lot of things going on behind the scenes in life, not just on True School Sports, but in life. So I haven't really been in the gym. I know that's an excuse. The last time I was actually in the boxing gym to train was last week. Last week I was in the gym. I went to Kangaroo Boxing Gym, and I just did some moving around with one of this amateur, a really good amateur too. This kid named Abel Gonzalez. He's he won Florida National Golden Gloves at 178. I believe he.
Wow.
I don't know if he won National Golden Gloves, but we just moved around.
Right,
you know, did some body work. Nothing too crazy, but you know, I haven't really done. You know, I had to get back to it. I'm actually, well, believe it or not, I'm actually gonna bring my mouthpiece, my boxing shoes, and my hand wrap when I go to the UK. And I'm gonna see if I can find me a good gym there. You know, if I go to the UK, when I go to the UK, if I do some sparring, I'll post that soon.
Yeah.
Chase Athletics with a soccer question. He says,
go ahead, Chase.
Is Everton making the top 4? Listen,
Ooh,
we had high hopes before the season started at Everton Football Club. You know, we were hoping that Moise Keane would get a good run in games and score goals and be a difference maker.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened. Sigurdsson has been playing hide and seek all year.
Guys,
Andre Gomes is injured. Gabama is injured. Luka Dean's levels have dropped. Seamus Coleman has been a bum pretty much the whole season. Michael Keane's been a bum. It's been a very disappointing season at Everton. I mean, we won last week. We're not in the relegation battle anymore. But no, I think we're not. There's no way in hell we're making top 4. Now, top 6, potentially yes, because I think we're only 3 points away off of 5th. But top 4, I just don't think we have the quality, and I don't think Marco Silva's the guy to do that for us, to be honest.
I think top 10. The players don't have the heart on the field.
Also, we're extremely injured too.
Yeah, so and definitely the coach that I thought in the beginning was going to be something. He's really like put the shade on me. Like I don't see the brightness no more with Everton the way I felt in the beginning. He's not consistent on his lineups. He's not consistent. He doesn't believe.
But I hope he turns it around,
and
because
if the coach does not believe in the players will not believe in themselves. You need to sell them something.
Listen, but I hope for, as a fan and as a diehard Evertonian, I hope Marco Silva does get it right, because at Everton Football Club we cannot afford to keep sacking managers and firing managers. Because odds are we're not gonna, if we do fire Marco Silva, we're not going to replace him with a top level manager like a Mourinho or Rafael Benitez. So I hope for a good season. Maybe they can go ahead and win a trophy and win the Carabao Cup, because they're in the quarterfinals right now of that. So I'm hoping for that. But right now it's been a very disappointing season.
And my son said the next game they have it's not a very tough opponent, right?
No, playing the worst team in the league, playing Norwich City. So
well, at least
at home,
keep our hopes up.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed. But you know, not too
bad. Knock out these boxing.
All right, but Chase Athletics also said Andrade is definitely the most skilled. See, Great minds think alike here on True School Sports. Shout out to you, Chase.
I don't understand why Canelo won't fight him.
Cause I told you why. I want that smoke.
Yeah.
Americans are the best fighters still. We are still the factors in all weight divisions except 115 and 118. And yeah, you know, no, there's plenty of bright talents in America. I love the American fighters. I mean, I think great fighters come from everywhere. I'm not gonna get into who's the best talk, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. You're entitled to your opinion, your own opinion. All Mexicans have is Canelo, and he has still yet to beat our American dogs at 160. What's his name? That's not true because they have Gallo, they have Juan Francisco Estrada, who's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Ruiz now.
But Ruiz is really an American. He's an American.
Yeah, but you still have Mexican descent.
He's an American.
Ryan Garcia.
American.
You see, but I mean, I'll put it to you this way. One of the things that I talked to my son about Canelo is, and the biggest thing with Canelo is, he hasn't become undisputed in his weight class. He's only won divisions in every other weight class here and there, like he's doing now.
And he can afford them sanctioning fees.
I mean, right? So
he can afford those sanctioning fees.
Before he goes on, I think he should clean out his division class and then move on up and down and make his resume greater than what it is. Not to disrespect his resume now. I mean, just what I'm saying is, if you're going to be a great fighter, clean out your weight division and then continue on clean. Don't just keep jumping back and forth. And fight the top fighters while you still can.
Let's see. We got Jairo Galvez. Shout out to Jairo. He says,
Jairo.
bro, how was Andy Ruiz able to pay all those sanctioning fees? He fought Demetrenko half empty outside the arena as the co-main event, I might add.
Yeah.
Al Heyman put up the money, I guess. That's the only logical explanation.
I don't know about then, but I know about now. He got money.
That's it. David Benavidez, Jaime Munguia. Well, David Benavidez...
Oh, that's a beast right there, man. Nobody gets Benavidez letter.
American.
I will still take him.
He's an American.
Over, what's his name? Munguia.
Munguia is a Mexican. Munguia, he's from Mexico and he's training in Mexico. So,
okay, well.
And Munguia, he lost to Dennis Hogan, so...
Hogan got a big fight coming up too. Is it with Harrison or no?
No, Charlo.
Charlo, yeah. So
what do you think about that?
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Misty Mountain, shout out to Misty Mountain from Gibraltar. She says, or I don't know if it's a he or she, but yeah. Misty agrees with you.
What's that?
On, I think.
What did I say?
Thank
you, Misty.
I don't know on what, but they agree.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, we talk a lot of boxing. Guys, just hit that like button for us, please. It'll help us out.
There you have it. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Moving on, because I got a couple articles I want to get to. So I found an interesting post on Reddit, and I wanted to kind of highlight it to you guys. So there was an article on Reddit. It was called "Tracking Greatness," Naoya Inoue, and this person that wrote this, some guy on Reddit named Sergio, not a very sexy Sergio Martinez Garcia. So shout out to him. He wrote a post called "Tracking the Greatness of Naoya Inoue," and basically he breaks down how Inoue has packed in so much into his career, and he breaks down Inouye's fights at the different stages of his career. So it's interesting if you look at Inoue, right? You know, he's had 3 stages of his career, and generally, if you're a good fighter, you have 3 stages of your career. You start off a prospect, you start off a contender, and then you fight at the championship level. Those are the 3 stages of fighters. Okay. Inoue had 3 fights as a prospect. He fought a couple of domestic fighters in Japan, went 3-0, and then by his 4th fight, fights 4 and 5 were his contender fights, where he fought the likes of Ryoichi Taguchi, who was a world champion before Inoue, and he was a world champion after Inoue, and a good one at that. And then he fought Jerson Mancillo, and won the OBPF light flyweight title. But then his third fight, the third stage of his career, so fights 6 through 19, so from 6 all the way to now, has been just jam-packed, chock full of amazing wins. I mean, we're talking about him being the likes of Adrian Hernandez to win the WBC light flyweight title. Mm-hmm. We're talking about him moving up to 118 and beating Omar Narvaez. Mm-hmm. We're talking about him beating Antonio Nieves, who just gave Joshua Greer a tough fight. We're talking about him beating former 2-time world champion Kohei Kono. We're talking about him beating J.A. McDonald to win the WBA bantamweight title. We're talking about him beating Juan Carlos Payano in 13 seconds. Emmanuel Rodriguez, Lindsey Donaire. And he's packing this all into what's a very, very short 19 fights. And like when you read this article, it's very easy to see like why I have him number one.
Right.
But I mean, look at his career. I would say he has about 7 good wins and 1 like great win. He has got like he's beaten Kono, he's beaten Payano, he's beat Rodriguez, he beat Taguchi, Adrian Hernandez, Omar Narvaez, Jay McDonald, and then he beat Donaire. So we're talking about 8 high quality wins in 19 fights.
But one person that we never will know about is
Romo Gonzalez. We won't know. He would have been Romo Gonzalez. Oh, I'll say this though. You know what? In watching the Donaire fight, I would say this about the Inoue versus Chocolatito. That fight actually, I mean, I didn't want to make this video because I didn't want to hate on Inoue, but that Donaire fight actually confirmed what I already knew. That if they would have fought at 115 or 112, I should say, they would have fought at 112 when they were supposed to fight at 112.
You would war.
The angles of Romo Gonzalez would have given Inoue a lot of problems. Wow. He would have beaten Inoue with the volume and the angles.
Wow.
I think at least because Donaire, he was pretty like straight up, and he wasn't really he wasn't very. He didn't have a lot of dexterity to his upper body movement or anything like that, and he was able to get inside and throw that jab and land it. Romo Gonzalez, a lot more slicker, a lot more crisp than anybody Naoya was fought. I think he would. I think
he had a lot of heart.
I think he would have broken Naoya. I think he would have broke Monster Naoya down and stopped him.
So would it be fair to say
in his prime though, at 112?
Right. So would it be fair to say, in a fantasy fight, you got Chocolatito beating the Monster?
Yes, I've always said that. I've always said that.
Facts here.
Go back and check my receipts. Yeah. Check my mother-loving receipts. I've always said that.
We just gotta bring that up here. But all respect to Inoue, he won the Muhammad Ali trophy. All respect to the Flash Donaire, and also respect to Inoue because he allowed. I think it was very respectful of him what he did. He allowed Donaire to take the Ali trophy to his kids. And because Donaire promised his kids that he was going to come back with the Ali trophy. So kudos to the Japanese, and kudos to Japan, kudos to Inoue for what he did for the Flash.
XAce99X, he's asking me a real personal question here. He says, where were you born? And great question. So I grew up in South Florida, Dania Beach to be specific, but I was born in the great state of North Carolina when this guy was in the Army.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 82nd Airborne Division.
I was conceived and born in the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We moved to the South Florida area when how old were we when we moved here? When you took me down here, how old were we? How old were you?
I got out in 96.
So I was 1? We got here when I was 1?
About 96, 96 I got here. And how I know that, we were watching, I had you a little bit older, we're watching the World Series together.
The Marlins.
Yeah.
We beat the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your question. That's your answer. Let's see.
Who would you guys like? I mean, now we're talking about giving respect to Inoue. Who would you like to see Inoue fight next?
Well, I was gonna get to one comment. I saw. Where was it? I just saw it. Jairo Galvez actually asked, does Nordino Bali the guy who fought his younger brother, does he have a chance against Inoue? Do you think Nordino Bali could beat him?
No.
No?
Nope.
Why do you say no? Why are you so quick to write off our Moroccan brother, our Moroccan French brother?
I told my son from the beginning of the fight that I thought that the Moroccan was more powerful than his little brother. He was more aggressive than him, but based on the experience that Inoue has had and his resume, even in the fight that he had with Donaire, where he split his eye open or whatever the case was, I would have Inoue beating him.
Okay. I think he has a
slim chance,
25% chance of winning that fight. He's strong, man. He's strong. You can't.
I didn't say he wasn't. I never said he wasn't strong. I just think Inoue's a tough Japanese fighter. Was having a tough with it. Donaire with those punches he's getting to the face and this and that. And yeah, he can throw those punches, but I think all the way around, Inoue will come back and win that fight.
XAce99X says, no, I meant your nationality is where you're born. No, I was born in America, so I'm an American. But my background, my dad...
I'm Puerto Rican.
He's Puerto Rican. My mom was Dominican and Cuban, so I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Cuban. But I consider myself an American. I mean, we're all mutts here in America anyway. But yeah, if you ask me what I am, I would say I'm an American because I was born here. I've never been outside this damn country. And December the 4th will be new because I'll be going to a new country for the first time. So... you know, breaking barriers here on True School Sports. Jairo asked me also, BT, have you ever passed by the American Top Team facility? No, I haven't. I know it's here. I know that it's in Coconut Creek. To be honest with you, I haven't really had any interest in going over there because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have anything to talk about because I'm not really a fan of MMA like that. No disrespect to them, but I've met a couple of guys from the American Top Team Gym. They're pretty cool. I've met Matt Schnell. I've met Jamie Alvarez. I think that was his name. So no, shout out to those guys over there. But no, I haven't. All right, getting back to some more of these articles. Steven Espinoza, he was talking recently about because in boxing right now, there's a big power struggle in the boxing TV programming sector of the sport.
Of course, competition.
Because you got Showtime Boxing, they're trying to go with the old archaic pay-per-view route.
Yeah.
And then you got DAZN, who's trying to get rid of pay-per-view, and they're calling themselves the Netflix of boxing.
Okay.
So Steven Espinoza actually had some things to say about just the direction of boxing programming, and I want you to I want to read the quote to you. Sure. Here's what he said. He said, I quote, "If pay-per-view is dead, then why delay a big boxing event to avoid it conflicting with the MMA pay-per-view? More importantly, why would you disregard your loyal fans? They're the ones who bought tickets and are watching your event, and you're just doing this to accommodate a hypothetical crossover group who'd rather watch MMA." He then continued by saying, hold on. Here's what he said, and this is about DAZN. I quote, the fact that said executives believe that if, and he's talking about KSI versus Logan Paul and how it got numbers to DAZN supposedly. He said the fact that said executives believe that is if he or she actually does believe it, it says more about the current state of DAZN than it does about the current state of boxing. So he and then he also went on by saying I saw another article where he was complaining, saying that there's too much boxing on TV. So what do you make of Steven Espinoza's claims on DAZN and just as a consumer, are you more of a fan of the Showtime boxing brand, or do you like what DAZN is trying to do?
I like what DAZN is trying to do, and everything is numbers and everything is money. That's just the reality of it. I don't know who scored the most ratings on both shows. Was it DAZN, or was it Showtime, or was it UFC? But I mean, I'll be honest with you. What is it called when you want something in demand? I forgot when you go to school they say you have supply and demand or whatever the case is. Which ones does the audience want more? And to be honest with you, yes, the UFC is a younger sport that's been around. It's been built up to be the most attractive and blah 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 blah. And I'm not trying to hate on them, but me personally, what I didn't like about DAZN, if you claim that you want to take over the game and do this. And I know it's a political thing, that's why they did it, whatever the case, and they want to hurt, that's not your problem. In America, everything is competition.
That's right.
When it comes to making money and business. So I felt that they really disrespected DAZN, they really disrespected their fans. And it did a great injustice for the boxing fans who had to wait an hour and sit back and let the UFC dictate whatever they want. It was very disrespectful, I think, on DAZN to do that. If it's like what you just said, BT. If I bought to subscribe to you, and I bought this, and I want to see a certain time, I think I don't care what happened to the UFC. So be it. The facts will come out later. Who the better one is.
That's right.
And that was an injustice, and I hope it don't backfire on DAZN. But if it does, they should never put their fans or the subscribers secondary to no one, because the UFC is not paying.
Yeah, they're not telling Nate Diaz, hey, you guys don't even co-love Canelo to be over.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I like UFC. I like Nate Diaz and this and that, but I don't like it to the point that you just literally put the whole world on hold for you. Yet when you ask for their $20 a month, you didn't tell them wait till next week.
That's true. Do you I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say do you miss HBO boxing at all? I miss HBO boxing like hell.
I miss HBO
Come
boxing.
back, HBO. Come back.
I like their commentary team. One of the things that when I watch fights with my son, and I'm not hating anybody, some of these commentators just put me to sleep now. When I had HBO boxing, I loved the way they had the players in set and everything, and I just don't get that same feel with DAZN.
Why is that? Why do you feel you're not getting that same feel?
I mean, the knowledge that HBO had, the great fights that they've had back, all that experience they have, and how they can relate to the audience because they already have an audience that relates to you.
But they have that on DAZN too. They have like Sergio Mora. They got like I think Leonard's on there sometimes.
It's not the same. It is not the same. When you establish that zone and how you talk about it, how you commentate it is a big thing.
So you just think like the chemistry that like Jim Lampley, Roy Jones Jr. and Max Kellerman had, it was unmatched in boxing.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that no more. I think to me personally, the only team that I like now a lot.
Top Rank.
Yep. How you know?
Or Bradley and Ward and all them.
Yeah, I like them better than. But other than that, I don't think nobody. It's too bad the HBO made a bad business.
Yeah, Peter Nelson ran them into a ground.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I think that commentating crew was one of the best.
One SS says, "Bring back the Jew, Max Kellerman. Let's go, champ. Let's bring him back."
Bring him back. Bring in Lamprey that you interview. It just everything in boxing is establishing a relationship or in anything you do with the audience, and they already had that set for so many years and in stone. Why would you just take it off? Now you have this craziness with LeBron James and making these little boxing
documentaries,
and all this crap.
They got DJ Khaled talking about boxing.
Max Levin did a better job. You should have just left HBO. Remember when he had that little segment he had?
That's right.
They should have never taken that off. I'm no disrespect to LeBron James. He's doing what he's got to do. No disrespect to nobody. I'm just saying that what we're just saying, don't fix it if it's not broke. And I think that the president of HBO, what he is,
Peter Nelson,
made the biggest. Oh my God, I got my name. I'll never forget him now. He made a big mistake, and he did it, and he hurt not just HBO. I mean, the guys got the pocket full and everything, but he hurt the fans that had that relationship for over 20 years. You don't have any channels like that one.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I really miss HBO, and as for Showtime, like, I'm not sure how feasible it is for Showtime, because like what's funny is like what DAZN lacks, Showtime has. What Showtime lacks, DAZN has.
Right.
Like for example, so Showtime has much better presentation and better commentators than DAZN has.
Right.
But DAZN is more affordable. It has more competitive fights and more matchups and better fighters.
But if you put your customer secondary, that's all going to go down the drain.
Yeah, exactly. So they're shooting themselves in the foot. Like, many of you guys may remember when I first heard about DAZN and I heard what they were trying to do, I was all on board for the idea.
Yeah.
I challenge you to find me another channel on YouTube that was championing the idea of DAZN more than I was. But as time has gone on, as I've seen how they treated the customers, the lack of quality the product has, I'm not really as big a fan of DAZN as I was when it first was announced. And I like the idea of it, but not the execution of it.
And let's make it clear, my son and I, we've been moving around just several months all over the place. We've been up north. We've been up. What I'm getting at, the zone has always had problems when we have to watch their fights or whatever the case may be, and it's bad product. And my son says, if you're going to sell something, sell it right and give the best quality to your fans. And I don't see that a lot from the zone. That being said, I'm still going to support the zone, but I just think they got to get a lot of things corrected. One thing that I did do like, shout out to Radio Raheem and what was his name? Seconds Out. I liked him on the zone.
On the zone, yeah, he did the interview for.
One day my son's gonna be there. One day my son's gonna be there.
I don't know if I want to do the Radio Raheem thing and be doing that. I don't know.
You have your own podcast.
I kind of just like where I'm at now. I'm grateful to be where I'm at now. My piece. But we'll see. You never know. I don't rule anything out. I think my route in boxing is gonna be very different than Radio Raheem.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that. But East African Niggas. He says, true, that's right. Claim America, not like these ungrateful Hispanics who were born in America but claim the country their parents ran from.
You're right. Hey, you're just so true. Hey, you gotta be proud.
I love being American. I'm proud to be an American where at least I know
I was raised after Puerto Rico, but hey, I served this country. I was in a real war. I take pride in red, white, and blue all day. I bleed it all day. That's my son, that's my wife. I drive her crazy about that sometimes.
Facts. Duck says, Josh Taylor won by majority decision versus Prograis, so what does he have to do with Jose Ramirez? Prograis is better than Ramirez as well. I want to disagree with you on that. I don't think Prograis is a better fighter than Ramirez. I think Ramirez would beat Prograis. But as far as what he has to do with Josh Taylor, what he has to do with Regis Prograis, I think Josh Taylor just got to be, I mean, as cliche as it is to say, he just got to be himself. I think with Ramirez, his best bet is to operate at mid-range and outside early, and then late in the fight, that's when you want to go to the body and chop the body. Now, if he's there, if it's an inside fight early on in the fight, then Josh Taylor's in trouble. But I think he's very capable about boxing Jose Ramirez. I would say just boxing from the outside, using that jab, using the straight left to keep him at bay. That's his route to victory.
And Ramirez is a very smart boxer, very aggressive when he gets you on the ropes.
Very skilled.
Very skilled. He goes for it. But I mean, when we see from Josh Taylor's last fight, it took him a while to figure out progress, but when he figured him out, even with that eye, he went on fire. And I'm a big fan of progress, so I'm not discrediting him. So I think if they both put to fight, to me, from what I've seen from both fighters,
Who you favoring?
I'm thinking Taylor.
Ooh, okay.
I think I learned a lot from the progress fight.
I'm favoring Jose.
I'm taking Taylor. I learned a lot from the last fight. It took him a while to figure out progress, but when he figured him out, he did it. So what I'm getting at, if Ramirez is going to win this fight, he better be the live dog right from the beginning.
And he will. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
If he don't, Taylor's going to finish him.
HB says, Jaron Ennis reminds me of Roy Jones. Farmer is the poor man's Pernell Whitaker. Tank is today's Edwin Valero. Shakur Stevenson is the next Floyd Mayweather. Devin Haney is the next Chris Eubank Jr. Caleb Plant is today's James Toney. So we're going to go through each one of those.
Yeah.
Jaron Ennis being the next Roy Jones. I can see that. Jaron Ennis is a very quick twitch fighter. So, I mean, it's hard to compare to Roy, but, you know, I'm not mad at it. Tevin Farmer being the poor man's Pernell. I mean, Pernell Whitaker. He's the corner store, bodega, motherfucking Presidente supermarket version of Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Tank being today's Edwin Valero. I think that's a good
beast. Yeah,
a good comparison. Shakur being the next Floyd. No, I'm not going that far. He's good, but he ain't that good.
Nah,
Haney being the next Eubank Jr. I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah.
But
different fighters, different things.
No, they're not different. I wouldn't go as far as say they're different. There's some similarities. Yeah. And Caleb Plant being the James Toney, that's one of his favorite fighters. I know he was very heavily influenced by James Toney, so yeah, of course. Let's see. Let's go down. Let's move down in the comments. Let me go up. Chase Athletic says, I can see you doing something like that. I think he means like the Radio Raheem, like commentary.
Yeah, man. He's like, I'm telling you, my son will sit here and he'll see things about boxing and cut it down and dissect it and talk about this and that. And the thing is very studious of what he does. I mean, you guys don't see behind the scenes, but I'm here, and he's really into his passion, and he does his research and he does his homework, and he'll say, hey, Dad, did you see that shot? Did you see how he moved? See what angle? So he is very, just a few, the other day he was with a trainer, and the trainer just met him, Rubio.
Jorge Rubio, yeah, former trainer of Amir Khan and Rigondeaux.
Trainer.
Trained the Cuban national team.
Amir Khan.
And the Cuban national
national team. And my son was in the back. See, I guess he was talking to Isaac Chambers. I don't know what happened. Anyways, to get the long story short, Rubio says, wow, you're very knowledgeable of what you're talking about. Some people just don't know. And there's another great trainer that comes from the Kronk gym in Michigan, from Emilio Stu, trained from, rest in peace, Steve McKinley. He always goes, before he goes to the gym and talk to him, he starts giving him all this kind of back in the day boxers history and try to get him off his track, and he can't. So a lot of these old time trainers that've been around, they respect my son's knowledge. They're like, damn, for being a young kid and where you're at, I respect you, I salute you for that, and I support that.
Yeah. Oh, here we go again. Y'all talking about Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe. This always happens once every live. What's his name? Lennox fought everyone in this era aside from the dude from Brooklyn who ducked him. He avenged all his losses. You damn right. Listen, Lennox Lewis ducked Riddick Bowe. All right. And you got Anthony McKen saying that. That I'm saying that it's otherwise because Riddick Bowe's my friend. I'm not saying it because Riddick Bowe's my friend. I've done my homework. I don't give a fuck if he's my friend. Listen, this is the facts. These are the cold, hard facts, right? So, Anthony and anybody else who disagrees with me, y'all know Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Before we talk about Bowe versus Lennox Lewis, I have to ask you on which side of the fence. Which side of the fence you stand on? Or did you think that Anthony Joshua was the A side, or were you on the Wilder side of things? Because if you tell me that Anthony Joshua was the A side of that fight and that he was right to handle the negotiations how he did, then you have to say that Riddick Bowe didn't duck Lennox Lewis, because Riddick Bowe back then is what Anthony Joshua was in 2018. He was A side. He was the guy in the division. He was the money guy in the division. Lennox Lewis was just a guy on the come up. He had just beat Vegas Serrata, who was afraid of him. Okay. Lennox Lewis. His manager, / from what I've heard, gay lover, Frank Maloney.
Okay.
Frank Maloney, they were set an offer by Riddick Bowe and Rock Newman. And Rock Newman, I believe the first offer was an 80-20 offer.
Wow.
For the undisputed heavyweight championship
fight.
fight.
Talk about this.
They turned it down. Lennox Lewis and Frank Maloney turned it down. That's a fact. You can go. Nothing I'm saying is ungoogleable. You can go Google it for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they said, okay, you know what? Riddick Bowe and Rock and Inoue made a second offer, or whoever it was, Frank Maloney, whoever his manager was. I don't know if it was Frank Maloney. It was somebody. Whoever his manager was, they were set an offer.
Right.
Okay. They didn't accept it. Then the next offer was 90-10, right?
Right.
They turned that one down.
Right.
Then Boa said, you know what? We're sick of this shit. We're going to move on with our careers. And then they said, no, the 80-20 was fine. But by that point, they decided to move on. So, why does nobody talk about that? And then why does nobody talk about the fact that why does nobody talk about the fact that Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe both knew that if the fight didn't get made for whatever reason, that the WBC was going to strip Riddick Bowe, and he would be awarded the belt anyway. Lewis hid behind the WBC and didn't fight Riddick Bowe because he knew whether it was his fault or not his fault for making the fight, that he was getting awarded the belt anyway. So he was more content to get the belt than to fight Riddick Bowe, because I know, and deep down in your hearts and Lennox Lewis's hearts, you know that in 1992. The Bowe that fought Evander Holyfield would have smoked the Lennox Lewis, because the Lennox Lewis most of you guys are thinking about is not the Lennox Lewis that was with Emmanuel Stewart in 96 and 95. This was a less polished version of Lennox Lewis. Still good, still formidable, but not the Lennox Lewis you guys are thinking of.
Go with the point now. Nowadays, I think sometimes when boxers have a question that they can never be answered because they didn't take the proper steps to legitimize how great they were by not fighting one of the best fighters in their prime in a Bowe. You see it today every time Lennox gets talking about Bowe, this and that. He talks about giving advice to Wilder and Joshua at the time, like, hey, you guys need to make this fight. You know why? Because in his mind, in his heart, he'll never know what would have been with Bowe, and he never took the steps to do it. And by waiting for a belt to be vacated, wasn't the right way to go about it. Even at that time, even probably what his manager said, whatever he wanted to do. So when you make a mistake and you come out in public and you say, hey Joshua at the time, hey Joshua and Wilder, you need to make sure you make this fight for the boxing fans, it lets you know that he's trying to correct something that he didn't do in the past.
Anthony McKen says, agreed. Lewis became a better boxer post McCall, but Bowe was never as good as most people think he is today. You out here, listen, I know I wasn't allowed to see that, but we have this thing called YouTube. I do a lot of reading. I've watched tons of Bowe fights. I've watched tons of Lennox Lewis fights. You're not talking to the average 24-year-old man about boxing.
I don't know nothing about,
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe was an exceptional fighter, and if you say he wasn't as good as most people think, do you think Eddie Futch knows about boxing? Eddie Futch, he knows things about heavyweight boxing. He trained Ken Doran, Larry Holmes, Joe Frazier,
Facts.
and freaking... He said Riddick Bowe was more talented than one he trained.
Hello.
He's the only fighter in the history of this mother effing country to win the New York City Golden Gloves 4 times, aside from Mark Breland. The only fighter that's won the New York City Golden Gloves more than Riddick Bowe is Mark Breland. Okay, I know he lost Lennox in the Olympics, controversially, in my opinion. Silver medal. Silver medalist as a fighter. Undisputed heavyweight champion. What do you mean? He's probably one of the top 2 or 3 best inside fighters of any heavyweight ever. What do you mean he wasn't as good? What do you mean he wasn't as good?
Where was he from? Whatever was from, the Mojo's not right.
Your opinion is revisionist. Eddie Futch didn't want Bowe to take the Lewis fight.
No, because it's like this. To this day, and
He said Bowe wasn't mature enough yet.
Listen, to this day, Bowe, when he came out, he said, hey, he'll do an exhibition to this day, just to clear whatever, where Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis didn't even answer that. My whole point is, if you make a mistake in life, and you had no chance to correct that mistake because you can't go back in time, but you're giving advice based on your experience, that if you have taken that...
Let me cut you off. Okay. He said Riddick Bowe had a lot of gifts in his career. Okay, name them. Name me the gifts Riddick Bowe got in his career. I want to know which fights. I want to know when. Because truthfully speaking, if you want to be honest with you, he beat Holyfield that first fight, which he did. The second fight, really, there shouldn't even have been a third Holyfield-Bowe fight because Bowe won the second Holyfield fight. They robbed him of that fight. And then the third fight, he stopped Holyfield, so he never really lost against Evander Holyfield. He said Tony Tubbs. No, he didn't lose Tony Tubbs. You actually damn mind. You damn mind.
And like I'm saying,
It was a good fight, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's probably a fight in his career that doesn't get talked about enough. Tony Tubbs gave him a good fight, but I thought he won that fight.
Like I was saying before.
But you said he got okay. Even if that is a gift, even if I sit here and say that's a gift, you say he got a lot of gifts in his career. So you're implying that it was more than one. X-Ace99X says the 2 Golota fights were gifts too. How can they be gifts? Golota kept punching him in the dick. Golota could have won those fights and he could have been recognized as a better fighter than he is today. But he punched Bo in the dick both fights. So it's his damn fault. That's not Bo's fault. It's Golota's fault. He should have been disqualified versus Elijah Tillery. Okay, probably. But they had a rematch. What happened? Stopped him. Okay, so Elijah Tillery could have avenged it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, like I was telling you guys before, when you make a mistake in life, or you made a bad decision that you can't actually correct because Father Time passed you, you tend to use that knowledge to the fighters of today so they don't make the same mistake. And I think indirectly Lennox Lewis did that when he came out and said to Joshua Walter, you guys need to make this fight.
Someone said I rate Evander over Bo. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I rate Evander over Bo too
Yeah.
in terms of the career he had, in terms of how great he was. You can't let as much as I'm friends with Bo, and listen, I mean Bo's like probably one of my closest friends in boxing. I love Bo to death, but
Respect to Evander.
Evander was a better fighter, had a better career than him. But I'm not about to sit here and listen to people shit on Riddick Bowe like he wasn't an A-level fighter, like he wasn't an elite heavyweight, like he wasn't one of the top 25 greatest heavyweights to ever put on a pair of boxing gloves. You are not gonna do that in my presence. You can do that.
If you go to the channel, Brendan has a video, like I always say, go to that video where Bo is actually talking live on a show, and Frank Bruno's there to Lennox Lewis, and he brings the belt on, and let's do this, and Lennox Lewis just tap dancing.
Jairo Galvez says, bro, how do you rate the Klitschko brothers, both of them having all the titles at the same time and never being unified? Well, Vladimir Klitschko, like, I recognize him as a fantastic fighter. I mean, I think he wasn't in a great era, to be honest with you. He's kind of like the Larry Holmes type thing. And the sad part with Vladimir is the best fighter of his era was his brother. The best fighter of his era was his brother.
We're more than your bloodline, yeah.
So listen, I give Vlad a lot of credit. He had a lot of longevity in the game. Maybe his fights weren't scintillating or fun to watch. But I'll be honest with you guys, and I've always said this. If you ever listen to me talk, I say this because Stacey McKinley kind of opened my mind up to this last year.
Right.
So last year I did a 1 hour and like 20-minute interview special with Stacey McKinley.
Wow.
And we touched on a lot of things like heavyweight boxing, fighters of yesteryear, things like that. And he spoke a lot about Vitali, and he said that the way it was surprising to hear Stacey speak so highly of Vitali because you wouldn't expect that from Stacey. He told me that Vitali was one of the smartest fighters who ever lived, one of the best heavyweights that ever lived. And he was giving me a deep breakdown as to why, saying that Vitali is probably one of the only heavyweight fighters that could fight going backwards, could fight going forwards, could do it all. And when you look at his career, I find his career very interesting because this doesn't get talked about enough with Vitali Klitschko. So right now, how old is he? He's 81, 91, 2001, 2011. So he's 48 years old. He retired in 2012. Yeah. That was 8 years ago. So he retired at 40. And then he was what? He came back. Wait, he retired at 40. So 36. He came back at 30. So listen to this. Listen to this. So he retires at 32 years old in 2004. Vitali Klitschko retired at 32 years old in 2004. So from 32 to 35, he doesn't box at all. This does not get talked about with Vitali. He beats Danny Williams. He stops Danny Williams. He was WBC heavyweight champion at the time. Okay. Doesn't box 05, doesn't box 06, doesn't box 07. Wow. Comes back in 08.
Wow.
Takes on a Samuel Peter who had only lost one time. Stops him.
Wow. Becomes
WBC heavyweight champion again. And then he defends that title 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So think about that shit. You don't box from 32 to 35. Very, very important years in a fighter's life. 32, 35. You come back. You beat a solid top 10 fighter for the title who only had one loss. Then you defend the belt 9 times to close your career all the way to the age of 40. Underrated. Vitali Klitschko, super underrated. I'm gonna say, listen. I rate him extremely high. I got Vitali Klitschko in my top 20 heavyweights of all time. Maybe even pushing that top 15 because it doesn't get talked about enough what he did in his career.
And I like both brothers, but I've always told my son after I've seen all his fights and everything that Vitali is for me, and I like aggressive, more attractive, more this. He wasn't afraid. He's not gonna sit there and just wait for you. Pop. He's gonna come in and attack. I love his style of fighting. To me, I think out of the two, to me he was a more live dog than his brother. That's just my opinion.
Anthony McCann said he is not top 25, and he's talking about he being Riddick Bowe. His record and defenses don't stack up. He retired when he was 28. How could he beat? He beat an undefeated Evander Holyfield. This is an Evander Holyfield that beat the likes. Before he fought Bowe. I'm talking about before he fought Bowe. This is an Evander Holyfield who beat the likes of Dwight Muhammad Qawi.
Wow.
He beat George Foreman.
Hello.
He beat I'm blanking out here. What's the guy's name? The Puerto Rican guy at cruiserweight. He beat him.
Like we talked about
Carlos De Leon.
Yeah.
Beat him. He beat I get it out of shape Buster Douglas, but Buster Douglas nonetheless beat him. You know, he had fought, but before he got to Bowe, before Evander Holyfield even got to Riddick Bowe, he had fought some straight killers. Also Ricky Parkey, which is an underrated win. Nobody talks about Ricky Parkey, but you know that was a great win for him at the time. You know, but that one kind of gets glossed over. And fun fact about Ricky Parkey, Evander Holyfield was actually Ricky Parkey's best man at his wedding. So that's pretty interesting. But in terms of who did he beat? Okay, he beat Michael Dokes. I always hear everybody talk about how Michael Dokes was this underrated heavyweight with great hand speed, and he was an underrated heavyweight with great hand speed. Riddick Bowe stopped Michael Dokes, and this was Michael Dokes in '93. This is right. This is the fight right after I believe the second Holyfield fight, and this was Michael Dokes. You know, to be fair, you know, what got Michael Dokes that fight in the first place was that Michael Dokes actually outboxed Jesse Ferguson, who at the time, if I'm not mistaken, he was the underdog in the Jesse Ferguson fight. Or I could be off on that one, but don't quote me. Beat Michael Dokes. He beat what's his name? Tony Tubbs. He beat Burt Cooper, another good win. Burt Cooper.
Yeah.
Burt Cooper. Let's talk Burt Cooper for a second. Burt Cooper was a guy that gave Evander Holyfield the first knockdown of his career. Put him on the canvas. Put Evander Holyfield in some of the most uncomfortable positions he's ever been in the boxing ring. When Riddick Bowe fought Burt Cooper, do you know what happened?
Done.
2-round stoppage. 2 rounds.
Done.
2 rounds. Okay? So, look, did he have the longevity? No, I'm not going to sit here and act like Riddick Bowe had this amazing longevity because, unfortunately for him, he wasn't very disciplined and he ate himself out of the title. But when you factor in the fact that he beat Evander Holyfield on paper twice, okay, prime Evander Holyfield, undefeated Evander Holyfield, became undisputed heavyweight champion, lineal heavyweight champion in some of the greatest boxing matches of all time. And if you want to be technical here, he landed about a couple hundred more punches on CompuBox, you know, for what it's worth. And a lot of people think that he beat Evander Holyfield in the second fight. There's a lot of people out there that don't think Evander Holyfield ever beat Bowe. So let's have it right. Let's have that right.
Wow.
And so he was the first man to beat Evander Holyfield. Then he became the first man to stop Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
So just off that alone, just off the strength of that, because you gotta understand, Evander Holyfield. If you're saying Evander Holyfield is above Bowe and he's top 10 and he's top this and he's that and he's the only lineal 4-time lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, then if Bowe beats him the first time and then stops him for the first time in his career, then what does that say about Bowe?
Yeah, look at all that.
Okay, I thought the Herbie Hyde win was exceptionally underrated because Herbie Hyde was a fighter who at the time was a WBO champion, 26-0.
To this day, he's the hard puncher.
And Bowe will tell you, Herbie Hyde was one of the hardest punches he ever fought.
They'll say that.
And Herbie Hyde, you know, okay, Bowe bullied him. We know that. Bowe bullied Herbie Hyde. He was bigger than Herbie Hyde, but Herbie Hyde was undefeated, never lost. Underrated win there. He fought Jorge Luis Gonzalez before. What's actually underrated about Bowe is before the third Holyfield fight. Nobody talks about this.
Right.
Okay, but before the third Holyfield fight, he fought Jorge Luis Gonzalez, and Jorge Luis Gonzalez, you know, here on True School Sports, we've been talking about all these Cuban amateurs and how all these heavyweights all these heavyweight Cubans like Felix Savon and Felix Stevenson, how they're all good. This was a great amateur, Jorge Luis Gonzalez. This is a guy that in the amateurs he defeated. Jorge Luis Gonzalez. He defeated Tyrell Biggs in the amateurs.
Wow.
He defeated Lennox Lewis in the amateurs. He defeated Riddick Bowe in the amateurs.
Wow.
In fact, he defeated Lennox Lewis twice in the amateurs.
Kudos to the Cuban
Jorge
boxer.
Luis Gonzalez.
Cuban boxer.
And Riddick Bowe fought him when he was 23-0 before the third Evander Holyfield fight. And what did he do with Jorge Luis Gonzalez, this Riddick Big Daddy Bowe? Okay, he said Jorge was overrated. He beat no one before Bowe. Okay, I would agree with you. He didn't beat anybody before Bowe, but he was still a quality fighter. He doesn't strike me as the kind of fighter that you want to fight in between. He fought him. Listen, he fought him in March 11th of '95. I was only a month old.
Wow.
Oh no, June 17th of '95.
Yeah.
He fought him in between Herbie Hyde and the third Holyfield fight.
Wow.
That's not a guy you want to be fighting in between Herbie Hyde and Evander Holyfield. So you have those fights, okay? Then, you know, he beat other lower level contenders. He beat Jesse Ferguson. He beat, you know, I guess Bruce Seldon, if you want to count the Bruce Seldon one as a good win. Tony Tubbs. Listen, he doesn't have the longevity, but you're not about to sit here and deny me the Holyfield wins. You're not going to deny me Herbie Hyde.
Yeah.
You're not going to deny me any of those fights. Listen, I think Bowe, if Bowe would have put it all together, he probably would have been one of the best, undoubtedly heavyweights of all time, probably top 5 heavyweight of all time. He had that kind of talent, but unfortunately for him, he didn't have the discipline. But he still was able to accomplish some great things in his career. And just based on what he did, based on who Evander Holyfield was, you got to put Riddick Bowe in that top 25. If you don't, then I think your heavyweight list is a bit disingenuous. I'm not saying he's got to be rated exceptionally high on that list,
But he's got to be there.
He said, "I will give you Evander and just that." So you're not gonna give. You're just gonna sit here and you're gonna discredit Michael Dokes. You're gonna discredit
Who you said the Cuban fighter?
Jorge Luis Gonzalez. You're gonna discredit Larry Donald, who was undefeated. You're gonna discredit Herbie Hyde. How about Jesse Ferguson? Because if I'm not mistaken, Jesse Ferguson he had an upset to get the Bowe fight. He didn't just get the Bowe fight out of thin air.
Yeah.
So he would beat somebody to fight Riddick Bowe. Who did he beat to fight Riddick Bowe? I'm not mistaken. I got it right here.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah, bro. Jesse Ferguson is even an underrated win because Jesse Ferguson, because they wanted to make the merciless Ray Mercer fight. All Ray Mercer had to do was beat Jesse Ferguson, and merciless Ray Mercer, one of the most fearsome heavyweight hitters of the time, would have fought Riddick Bowe and what would have been a for sure barn burner.
Yeah.
But Ray Mercer lost to Jesse Ferguson, so he didn't get the Riddick Bowe fight.
Wow.
So he beat the guy who beat Ray Mercer.
Yeah.
So you're not about to sit here and disrespect my boy Riddick Bowe. It's not happening. Not on this channel.
No.
He said he was a punching bag by that stage. Yeah, but he was a punching bag that beat merciless Ray Mercer. Who every time I hear these old these boxing fans talk about Ray, oh yeah, Ray Mercer, he was a great fighter. Ray Mercer, he hit really hard. So there you go, man.
But respect, we just talk about boxing. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you so much.
Jesse, okay, we got. I missed a lot of comments. Let me scroll up and get some comments because we've been here.
He got a blood pressure going.
Okay. Somebody asked me a question about. I saw a question that said who had the better title defenses at heavyweight between Vitali Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. So we're gonna go back to Vitali Klitschko's box right there, so you can see. No, somebody asked. They wanted to know who defended the title against better opposition. So Vitali actually had not one but two WBC title reigns. So he won the belt vacantly when he beat Corey Sanders. That's a good win. Defended it against Danny Williams. Beat Samuel Peter. Then he defended against Chris Ariello, who was undefeated and actually Andy Ruiz now. Chris Ariello was supposed to be back then. Beat undefeated Kevin Johnson, who turned into be one of the toughest guys in the division, heavyweight journeyman. Beat Shannon Briggs within an inch of his life in Germany. Defended it also and stopped Oleander Solis, who was another good skilled Cuban heavyweight. Thomas Adamick, Chisora. Yeah, Vitali, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Vitali had the spot the better fighters of the two. That's not to me. That's not a debate.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else we got? Your pops is loving this debate. Tyson smoked him in '86. You talking about Ferguson or Larry Donald? I'll tell you this, Anthony. If the 92, if you put the 1992 version of Riddick Bowe up against any version of Mike Tyson, I don't care if you're talking about 88 Tyson. I don't care if you're talking about 89 Tyson. I don't care which Tyson. 86, Riddick Bowe and 92 is fucking all of them up. He's beating them all up. He's breaking them up. Straight up. He's beating them.
The beast. My son said he's a beast.
El Jefe wants to know, how would you describe Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera?
Oh man, those are great fighters right there.
That was like to me that fight was Inoue versus Donaire on steroids.
Yeah.
It was the same nip and tuck tactical, action that you saw on Donaire versus Inoue, but with like 10 times more punishment and exchanges. It was absolutely exceptional.
It's crazy.
Probably the best, it's in the running for top 5 best boxing trilogies of all time. I would say Ali, Frazier, Bo Holyfield, Tony Zale, Rocky Graciano. It's got to be in there. It's in there. Marquez, Pacquiao. It's definitely in there. Vitali would beat Tyson Fury. I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
I actually think Vitali would stop Tyson Fury.
He was more aggressive. He was a very aggressive fighter. I like that about him. Out of the two brothers, I always liked Vitali better. I love his style of fighting.
Remember when Stacey McKinney last year, he looked me square in my eye and he said, "This guy would have been champion in any era of Vitali."
Wow.
Yeah.
And he knows he's been around boxing for forever and a day. So yeah.
What did you think about Prince Naseem Hamed versus Kevin Kelly? That was one of the best fights ever in the 90s and just period. There was about 5 or 6 knockdowns that fight. That's probably one I have to go back and rewatch soon. Great fight. When is Trevor Bryan coming back? El Jefe, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. The last I heard of Trevor Bryan, because the last time I saw Stacey, me and Stacey actually went on a road trip. We went to Atlanta together to go watch one of his fighters. I went with him. I tagged along with him to go watch his middleweight Carlos Monroe, who's like 17-0, who's just I think he's top 15 in WBA for middleweight, right. And I think he might even be ranked WBO or WBC.
Wow,
good fighter.
Yeah.
But I asked him about Trevor, and he told me at the time that they had some sort of negotiation for the Char fight, and they had some meetings in New York. To be honest with you, I have my reservations about whether or not Trevor's ever going to fight again, because that seems to be the thing with Don King fighters. But I hope he gets back in the ring.
He's been sitting back on the shelf for a while. And
he hasn't fought all year. I don't think he's fought all year. So
I'm excited to see him, and every time I get excited, something comes up.
Adonis Creed versus Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
He's on the.
Give me Adonis Creed, man. You saw what Adonis Creed. You saw what Adonis Creed did to Pretty Ricky Conlon and Danny the Stuntman Wheeler. That if you've never seen him, Pretty Ricky Conlon is Tony Bellew, and Danny the Stuntman Wheeler is Andre Ward, and Creed beat them both. So Adonis Creed, like Emmanuel Stewart. You ever hear Emmanuel Stewart talk about boxing, history?
When he talks,
it's the most dramatic shit in the world. He'd be like, he was one of the hardest punches who ever lived. So I'll say it like that. I'll say. Adonis Creed is one of the best punches that ever lived. Like in my Emmanuel Stewart voice.
And I like Rocky's traded from the old Rocky, the old guy. What's his name?
Mick?
Yeah, Mick. Yo, go get him, Rocky.
Yeah.
Go get him, Rocky.
What did you think of Nigel Benn? A monster. He was a mother-loving monster. They call him the Dark Destroyer for a reason. I don't think he was the most technically sound fighter in the world, but you knew when Nigel Benn fought, like he kind of gave you like that in a way, like it's kind of like the same thing with Deontay Wilder. They're not the most skilled fighters in the world, but you know that when they come to bring the pain. They come to put your lights out, and you'll get your money's worth. So yeah, I like Nigel Benn. But you know who I like more than both of them from the UK? Who you like more than both of them?
I love one good.
Tyann Booth, let's go. Hey,
you want to see that video? My god!
Big shout out. Listen,
Crazy.
I normally don't advertise other people's channels on my channel, but listen, I always tell my dad there's only one channel on YouTube that I'll say is better than mine, and that's Tyann Booth. Okay, Thai Boxing TV. Listen, go subscribe to Thai Boxing TV. Tyann Booth. All right.
I got comes up with some videos,
doing the damn thing. Echo Falls in the right hand.
Yeah, I don't know what makes him going, but he just talks.
Shout out to Echo Falls.
He's a straight up, how you say, straight shooter.
Just a straight shooter. No bullshit.
He don't care.
Ain't no politically correct bullshit with him.
Yeah.
And straight up, and For those of you out here, I want you guys to be safe, like Kugan Cassius. Be safe.
He's so cracked out.
Be safe.
Crazy. That guy's crazy.
Steve says, did Bo agree to fight Holyfield in Japan for the exhibition?
We haven't heard nothing about that yet.
I remember when I was talking to him in the gym one time, they mentioned something about doing a whole exhibition world tour, but Holyfield told me that the reason they're not doing that is because Bo won't lose the weight.
He won't take it seriously.
He won't take it seriously.
Yeah,
so we'll see. We'll see. Emilio X, he says, "What's up, bro? Everything good with you and your pops?" Yeah, we're doing good, man. It's 7:38 p.m. here in Miami, Florida.
Talking
you know,
about
the place everybody wants to be. We're very fortunate to live here. He says, hopefully both AJ and Wilder wins their fights so they can both get the super fight for boxing. Yeah, man, that's the fight boxing really needs. Like,
even Lennox losing. We were talking about Lennox losing Bo, and Lennox Lewis even was saying that the biggest mistake he made, he never fought Bo. So he was telling Josh and he was telling Wilder that don't make that fight for the fans.
Facts. Okay. Anthony McKenna says, Tyan Booth is always acting a fool. I'm surprised you understand his accent. I understand. Listen, I understand UK accent's pretty good. Like, I can actually detect, like, if somebody's from London, Liverpool,
it's crazy.
or Manchester. Yeah. It's very. You know what it is? It's because I watch a lot of Premier League and then I watch a lot of Sky Sports because of boxing and stuff. So after a while, you're gonna pick all this shit up. So
yeah.
Yeah. Be safe. Echo Falls. Shout out to Echo Falls.
Crazy.
I actually, believe it or not, I have to contact them and see if we're still good for our interview. But I actually contacted Tyan Booth about interviewing him while I'm out in the UK, and he said he was down for it. So, you know, as it stands right now, knock on wood, fingers crossed. I'll be interviewing Tyan Booth when I'm in the UK. So, be on the lookout for that.
And more interviews too there. So it's gonna be great. You said London is a small city, so.
More details on that soon.
Yeah.
You guys are probably gonna get. Probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you guys can expect to hear the full lineup of everybody that I'm gonna interview while I'm in the UK. El Jefe says Pops versus BT versus LeBar Ball for WBC Super Ruby belt.
Whatever you want to call it, whatever belt you want. I'm ready. I'm pumped up. Yeah. Yeah, so
Marshall Ministry says, and big shout out to the Marshall Ministry. He says, Happy Veterans Day, salute to you and your father.
Thank you, God bless you.
Chase Athletic says, I hope you're all doing well sexually. That's the Tyan Booth says.
You guys like, yeah, he's crazy. He had me laughing. What's the same thing? Yes, he said, F that.
Fucking hell.
And next.
Yeah.
Next. Yeah.
But let's see. It's right now it's currently 7:40 p.m. We've been live for 2 hours already, just like that.
Oh, I love that.
Straight away to like that.
Goes, and you guys make it happening.
We pretty much covered Ortiz Wilder. He thinks Ortiz has a chance. I think Ortiz getting put in a casket. You guys can leave your predictions down below for that. We will be live for that when it does happen. But drop your questions down below. We pretty much got through everything we wanted to get through.
Who would you like Canelo to fight next from the top 5 fighters that we told you that Hearn has in store? He has Gigi, he has Colin Smith, he has Bivol, he has Biderov, and then he has, I forgot the other one. Smith?
Saunders?
Yeah, Saunders. You guys just tell us who you want and why.
I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight VADA drug testing. That's what I want to see him fight.
I mean, who you guys want who you guys want
Yeah, I got Canelo. I got Canelo Alvarez fighting VADA drug testing. That's what I want. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see Canelo versus the piss test. Like do you guys remember when Jean Pascal fought Bernard Hopkins and he said, "Take the test, Bernard. Take the test." Canelo, take the test.
I mean,
for the fans.
If I know he's a money, supposed whatever cash cow, whatever the case may be, I just don't want to see another like I don't even want to get into it. I want Canelo to fight somebody. I want Canelo to either clean out his division and move on to fight the top fighters, stop dropping from division to division, and then continue on and fight the top dogs without any whatever the thing is called.
Rehydration clause. Oh, you know, I asked this stupid question earlier. I want to ask you guys to see what you think. Do you what if Canelo went up to heavyweight and fought Deontay Wilder with a rehydration clause?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about.
I was joking with him earlier. I said, if Canelo gave Deontay Wilder a rehydration clause at heavyweight, do you think he could win? Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Canelo would beat Deontay Wilder at heavyweight if he had a rehydration clause?
And if he didn't have one, forget it. Wilder's gonna put him to the moon.
That's right.
Put him to the moon real quick.
That's right.
Will no longer be the cash cow of Golden Boy and everybody else.
I agree with you, Anthony. Every fight he has to have an asterisk next to his name. That's why when people ask me, BT, what do you rank Canelo pound for pound? I have a hard time putting him on pound for pound because there's so many asterisks with his damn.
It's crazy, man. Like, how do you like? I understand fighters want to have an advantage to their opponent, but yeah, you climbed up or whatever, but you had to have some BS, whatever, rehydration clause, and then when I really looked into it and see how a lot of fighters he's had used that clause against, it kind of pisses me off.
That's right. Emilio X says, I want to see Canelo at 168, maybe versus Lemieux or the Smith versus John Ryder winner. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, with no stipulations.
Should fight Boo Boo next, try to be undisputed at one weight class like PBC is trying to do with the winner of Harrison versus Charlo.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to see, but
He's not going to fight Boo Boo. Boo Boo was too much of a stylistic problem for him.
I mean, Boo Boo's, like I said earlier, Boo Boo even said, I'll even climb up to whatever you're at to fight you and beat you in your town or wherever you want to go. So it's not like Boo Boo is not calling him out. And what's funny is the fight can actually be done if they both signed to the Zone and Golden, and he signed to the Golden Boy. So this fight can be done. It's just Canelo being a diva, and I'm not trying to hate on Mexicans or anything. I'm just saying the way I say it. Fight a fighter without the rehydration clause.
I can never hate the Mexicans. I love the women way too much.
I mean, yeah. Hey, kudos to you Mexicans. My son loves. You're gonna not marry one. My grandchildren are gonna be Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Mexican. How about that?
The whole island's probably.
The whole enchilada.
I'm supposed to see this Mexican chick in a couple weeks actually, so that should be fun.
So yeah.
When it comes about.
Yeah.
But Anthony McKen says, TSS, have you ever seen street beefs on YouTube? No, I'm not familiar with street beefs on YouTube. Educate me in the comments. Canelo is going to buy out Golden Boy Promotions before he takes out Lost.
Well, something's gonna happen. I mean, I just don't want to see no. I don't know, man. All the acting and all this craziness. I don't know. I want to see him just fight a fight without having any kind of clauses and straight fight.
Who was more of a stylistic problem, Andrade or Billy Dos Santos? Both are boring fights in my opinion. I mean,
against Canelo or
against Canelo. I think Andrade's taller, rangier.
I think it'd be harder for Canelo. It'd be a test for Canelo to fight. And Boo is quick. He moves around. He keeps his distance, and he will give more. I think more of a fight too, and make Canelo bring it to him.
Facts.
Yeah.
Anthony McKen says the backyard boxing is very entertaining between those people on that channel. Street beefs.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Question: how on earth did Demetrius Andrade get the nickname Boo Boo? I've always wondered that myself. So if I ever interview him, that's the first question I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But I can Google it up and find out there on YouTube.
I want to ask him that for myself.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, whatever it is.
I gotta find out when he's doing camp again, because when he does camp, he'll be in Boca probably at the gym.
Yeah, he goes to the gym all the time.
All the time. It's probably one of the biggest surprises in the world that I've never ran into him.
One day when we're gonna have to go there to see a live fight there in that club. I like to go there and see that. In the boxing club in Boca.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for our live.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get out of here, but just before we get off, guys. Once again, just a couple more programming reminders. Canelo Smith versus John Ryder live fight reaction will be November the 23rd. Canelo.
No.
Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, the rematch. That live fight reaction will be on November the 23rd as well. So those are probably the two next live fight reactions. I'm not so sure what we're going to do this Saturday. There's really no big fights going on this Saturday. So we might have to improvise and spice things up. Maybe watch an old fight or something.
Yeah, that or even going on live and do a question and answer or comment and answer. Read the comments and answer to our fans. To subscribe.
Yep.
Just something that you guys, if you guys have any ideas, shoot them to us.
Shoot them to us.
And we'll greatly appreciate it. And please subscribe and hit the like button. And don't forget Fighting Mad t-shirts.
There you go.
And support True School Sports, and thank you for being this and make it enjoyable.
There you go. And with that being said, also I'll be in the UK December the 4th. The True School Sports UK takeover will commence on December the 4th. I'll be there. I'll be going to gyms. I'm going to the Repton Boxing Club in London. I'm going to the Peacock Boxing Club in London. I'm going to the Rotunda ABC in Liverpool. I'm going to a couple of gyms in Birmingham. I'm going to Wales. I got about 5 or 6 interviews lined up already. So the trip's coming along together really, really nice. I just actually applied for a media pass to Daniel Dubois versus Taro Fujimoto on December 21st at the Box Arena. So things are moving along with the UK trip. hopefully we get some good content while we're out there, and I get to meet some of you while I'm out there. But with that being said, and I'm gonna check that out, Martial Ministry. Gilberto Ramirez versus Maxime Vlasov. I'll check that fight out. All right. So with that being said, like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding being here. So until next time, take care, guys. And I'll try to do that HBO. I'll interview Anthony or while I'm out there. Hopefully we do that. And Tunde and Jai. So we'll see you guys later.